bull run. This is the monthly close, the yearly close, and the bi-monthly close, and it's important. And every day that we are getting further from that is making that less likely, right? And so we got to just deal with what we got here, you guys. If you just entered this room, I very much welcome here. Thank you for stopping by, for real. Please repost the room. And all the people on the live stream, also leave a comment, right? We love to see those, especially after the show. But Adam here's got us some tea because back from Breakpoint, who was on the roof? Let's talk about it because he had this little video going on about a KOL after party. What the hell went down, Adam? Spill us the tea. Let's go.
Hey, yeah. So thanks. I think that it's actually kind of fun, like the way this stuff works, isn't it? Because it's the video itself is actually very pedestrian, but I think that what people love is the real people love seeing a slice of real anything, right? So inevitably it gets out of hand, and I think that because of the reason that the police arrived, um, this ended up getting picked up. I think it got picked up by a Chinese KOL, and then somehow associated with this other story between CZ and Tintin, right? And then somehow associated with the Chinese KOL for Asta, and so yeah, but basically what happened is, so I was at this after, so it was actually an after party by Saga DAO, right? Which is actually, let me have a look at their account. I'll see if I can pin it up, or maybe you want to take a look at this tick on the live stream. So Saga DAO is actually it's related to the Solana mobile. It's kind of they're basically doing some stuff with Solana mobile, which is actually incredibly bullish. I've realized since having met these guys and seeing what's going on at Breakpoint, like the Solana mobile thing. I'd love to talk to you a bit about this tick when we get into this, but yeah, so they had this content house. So it's like you know, this is what creators do, right? Like they'll get a house together, they'll get a big house together on the side of the event and use it to like shoot a bunch of videos, and they're shooting a bunch of like really well produced videos of like their various antics throughout Breakpoint, and you know, going out to the desert or whatever, and throwing parties and all of the rest of it, and interviewing people at the Breakpoint event and everything like that. And this was the after party. So this was the after party of the after party. So there'd just been this crazy airdrop. I don't know if you guys saw, but Soulflare did an airdrop at the after party, where what happened is they did like a big drone show, right? Like turning into all of the tokens in the sky, like above the marina in Abu Dhabi. And the final thing that happened is the drone show turned into the QR code, right? It's the QR code which you could scan to connect your wallet.
Dude.
Yeah. You should try and find the video.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Crazy.
So each freaking drone light was a bit of the QR code.
Code.
Yes, that is genius. So if anyone listening doesn't know if that's, I don't know if that's going over anyone's head, but QR codes, you can actually like, you can make them like with pixels essentially. And so each one of those drones, the lights would act as a pixel for the QR code, because that's just it just transfers bits of data, the you know, positive and negative space essentially. So that is freaking genius that they did it like that. That is so awesome. Dude, I love that.
Yeah, it was and the whole thing, actually the whole Breakpoint thing was crazy, like the way that they kind of weaved together IRL activations and an alpha with just like this kind of on-chain thing. So what had been happening throughout the event, everyone had basically been like doing these quests for, so this is actually really cool, right? So people are like going, and you know, you can go and go obviously there's like the normal stuff like following accounts or whatever, and but there's also like visiting booths, picking up swag, right? Scanning like swag that is connected to NFTs, this kind of thing,
Oh
right?
wow, that's
Doing
sick.
claims. So the whole event was like super interactive and kind of building up to this airdrop, right? um, which happened live. And Soulflare, for those of you guys that don't know, it's a wallet in the Solana ecosystem. And oh, we've got crypto rap in the building as well, by the way. So
Yeah,
crypto
pull
rap,
him up on
I
stage.
just
And
met him.
your
Yeah,
story
I just met
started
him
with all these KOLs in one
in
house.
in
So
the
that's
yeah,
already that's a red flag right there, right?
right.
that's a, that is crazy. We have some more people here in the house.
So,
R2L, we got Odie in the house. Odie's been moving on his timeline like nothing else, man. Keeping my eye on Odie right there. You want to come on stage, Odie, and talk about it? I'm trying to get crypto a rep up as well. Yeah.
yeah,
He's in the tunnel right now. He's coming. He's coming.
It
gotcha.
Aubrey,
Yeah,
I see
what
you. I see the Vault New community. Just doing a little bit of a shout out, you guys. Repost this room, right? Leave a few comments. Let's get some more people in here before we spill
I'm
tons of this
curious,
tea. Yeah.
Adam, about the Solana migrated to Base via Base Solana bridge. What is this chart?
yes,
I
yes.
haven't
Well,
seen this yet.
this is massive news. Yeah. So what's happened is the Solana base bridge, it has finally rolled out. It actually rolled out during breakpoint. And
Huh. I didn't know that.
these are just the yeah. Well, I mean, it's all like it's
Knew it was
crazy. Like a lot. I
coming.
mean, look.
We were just talking about it like 3 days
Uh-huh.
ago. So it's crazy that like we talked about it like the day before it happened. Apparently, I guess I was like, oh man, this is gonna
Yeah.
be so bullish, and apparently not. Is what the chart kind of. Let me see.
Well,
Go
yes.
ahead.
Well, the criticism the criticism is that is well, it's being described as or like the critics that are hating on it are describing it as like a vampire attack, right?
Right. For who
You know,
though? For it's
for
Solana
a
being
vampire attack on Solana. Yeah, a vampire attack on Solana, like by
ah
base, right? Because
oh
this is the these are the flows into base, right? So this is Solana. This chart is Solana that's migrated to base
wow
via the new base Solana bridge,
wow
right?
yeah
So yeah, and that's what I mean. The thing is like it's actually it's more bullish base probably, right? Than bullish Solana, but it also, I mean, I think the positive side is it's it's interoperability that is required for like a healthy cross-chain
yeah
ecosystem, right?
yeah
So it isn't I mean, I think that Coinbase, were there at breakpoint, and like I think they're taking Solana very seriously, right? And I think actually, like I spent a bit of time, talking to engineers on the sidelines, kind of getting some more insights into like what's been going on with Base, what's been going on with Solana. I'm walking away much more bullish Solana than I was, right? But that's kind of that would be if I wasn't, that would be bearish as anything, because like it was a it's a multi-million-dollar event, this thing, right? Breakpoint was, man, I mean, the Solana Foundation pulled out all the stops, like in the Etihad Stadium, in the marina, like right next to the F1 track. Like this stuff was it was an amazing event, and there was so much going on. So anyway, let's yeah. So this is another good talking point, actually, the bridging that's taken place, and yeah, maybe before I get uh into the story, we should introduce crypto rap and say hi.
Let's do
Hey.
that. I'm ready. Crypto rap, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Yo, 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 it's a pleasure to meet you. This is a Song Jam exclusive.
For real, for real. I'm ready for this, especially on this Monday. So yeah, let's hear it, you guys. Continue, continue.
Yeah, so
Right.
I've been the subject of some serious controversy lately. There's been a little bit of a scandal blowing up, and you know, crypto Twitter is one thing, but the truth is, it's really gotten out of hand on the Chinese side of social media. For some reason, a lot of people in corners of crypto Twitter associated with China have started circulating numerous rumors involving me, and I'm actually at a house party now, still the same house where I got in trouble the first time. Haha. And there's a bunch of folks here from the Chinese side of crypto Twitter, and they're all taking selfies with me and calling me the drama boy.
It's
No
already
way. That's hilarious. How about on the Chinese media, like Billy, anything?
The apparently it's a big story, and somehow become synthesized with this other rumors and drama floating around involving CZ and prominent Binance ecosystem KOLs, and suddenly I'm embroiled in this big narrative, and it all goes back to that first post made by Adam, which now has over 250,000 impressions on it, and I gotta say, it's been a rough 48 hours, you know,
No,
being on
I'm
the
gonna make it
hideout for
even
this.
rougher. Adam, send me the video, man. I'll make a post too. My account has more cloud than Adam. Let's go. Let's make that go to millies.
yeah, yeah. It's got to be done. It's actually
I'll
been
tag you, crypto rep. Get some cloud.
It would be a pleasure.
Let's do
No,
it.
it was one of the most absurd and unpredictable moments of my breakpoint for sure, but definitely a highlight. And to see the ripple throughout the ecosystem has been just hilarious.
You see how this works? People love this stuff. They eat it up. But mainly because, look, stuff like this can happen, right?
Right. I mean, you know, I will neither confirm nor deny on this front at this state in time.
Ah, you're staying shady. You're staying shady. Well, you kind of have to, right? You kind of have to. I understand. Wild gets it. But the last time we had tea like this, was with Richie at Avex, the Avex yacht, taking pictures of his banana, right? There's always something, you guys, crypto bros and a lack of women in crypto leads to this, right? So that's, put them all on a yacht and start taking pictures of their bananas together, right? And put them on a rooftop somewhere else, and then one female involved, and there's going to be trouble. You can just count on this one. Yeah.
Only one?
Or I mean, if you want to.
Rookie
It's,
numbers.
it's for real, bro. This is this never fails. I love crypto just because of this. I don't even care if the bags are down, you guys. This is where you this is what you came for, right?
Absolutely. No, I needed to stop in and say my piece. I'm still at the
Yes.
party now, and as you can imagine, things are quite wild, and I'm about to level it up a little bit. So I got to get back to the jovial nature. I got my sign vest on right now. It's a beautiful night. It's gonna be a movie.
So did you
Pump
have
my bags,
sex or
bro.
no? Did you have sex or no?
Look, my virginity is verifiable on chain, bro. I wear
Okay.
actually a
Damn.
seed phrase chastity belt. It's like a cage around
That's
my
Mm.
right.
member,
That's
and
right.
you have to enter a code in
So
order
no
to
sex
go.
yet?
So you'll be able to
No,
see
no, man.
on chain.
Oh
No, no, no,
Retention.
man.
of course not, bro.
Re-
Like, the first person to have
Nice.
sex with me actually gets to redeem a custom one of one NFT.
Oh, there's
That's
gonna
what
be a
I'm trying
drone
to talk
show.
about.
Is there gonna be a drone light show to scan the QR code to redeem this NFT after having
That's
sex with
exactly
me?
it. You can catch me Breakpoint 2026. I'm eager to lose it finally in London.
Good luck, bro. I
Oh
got
my
faith
God,
in
Maybe
you.
I
it's
can get
hilarious.
caught on top of Big Ben.
I believe in you,
You
dog.
can, the blockchain is transparent like that, you guys. You can follow that, that unfolding,
Oh yeah, there
right?
we go.
Don't we
We can
love
see who
this?
the lucky woman is. We just
Look, well,
follow his.
look, retention is the name of the game here, right, Crypto Bros? You should be doing the retention thing. Retaining means pumping the bags,
Dude,
right?
it
You stay
actually
locked in.
does though. I
Yeah.
mean, actually, never mind. I've got no personal experience with that, but yeah, let's get back to it.
No, but it works.
Cheers. Hey,
You
have a
need to
great
lock
space,
in.
y'all. It's been a
Hey, thanks
pleasure.
so much for
Yeah,
pulling up, man. I really
crypto rep.
appreciate that. ZM fam.
yeah. Shout out to you,
Shout out
ZM,
to you,
Mr.
my
ZM.
guy.
Cheers.
Oh,
Very
let me
cool.
give you a
ZM
follow
bro.
too. Hold on. Tube. Let me go. Yeah, there we go.
That was awesome.
Let's
I
go,
love
man.
that.
Love to see you
Wholesome.
back again.
Whole-
This is great fun. And of course, yeah, about your virginities, keep us updated. Sick. And I'm not offering myself, not a, but
You
hey.
can show him a thing or two. No, I'm just kidding.
Dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
that's terrible. I apologize. That was not classy.
No, that was Crypto Rep
Yeah,
giving us the tea
this
of
is
what went down and what is going
just
viral
going
on
straight
that side of
G-Gen over
Twitter
here.
here. You guys, yeah, you heard it
Yes.
here first. Well, too bad he left again too. Hopefully he's coming
He's got a
back to
party to
talk about
be
it a
at,
little bit
dude.
more.
I would never be at a party going on X. I mean, I'd probably never be invited to a party, period, but
Yeah.
oh, it's sad. No, I'm just kidding. But
I
like
feel
the
for
last
you.
thing I'm gonna do at a
Oh
party
my
is like, here
God.
guys, I'm gonna go on my phone and talk to some internet strangers.
It's crazy, you guys. But yeah, it's all in the video, Adam. And so Adam again, in short, for the people who just joined, I saw I see Ty Genius just pulling up. You missed it a little bit, but Adam can
Dude,
summarize.
I can't believe we finally had sex on this show. This is crazy. We
Well,
never really
well,
feature
I'm
sex
just glad
stories.
that some crypto bros had some sex
Yeah,
just all together
exactly.
because the
Yes.
rest
What?
that rarely happens.
That's why we never hear about it in on what's the
That's so
ticker. It's the furthest removed thing from crypto.
absolutely,
That's funny.
absolutely. So again, right? The after party ended up with a police intervention after
Fucking
crypto
wow.
influencers got
That
having
is
sex on the roof.
crazy. Dude, and
Yep.
it's I don't even know where to begin with this. It's too crazy to be like it seems too crazy to be true. I thought it was like a joke, like one of Adam's little AI jokes he likes to pull on me. No, I'm just wishing that doesn't actually happen. But yeah, I don't know what I thought, but this was an actual thing that happened. That's freaking nuts to me. Especially I mean, I, I mean, if you go to jail there, it's not like the same as going to jail like in California, right? Like if you get caught with like alcohol or like let's say marijuana or like something like that, don't you get in like huge trouble? No? Like Adam, if you get caught with a bottle of Jack Daniels there, like what do you like get in serious trouble or what? Oh, Adam dropped off. Um yeah,
Adam,
do you know about this though, the prohibition and stuff in Abu Dhabi? Like so I mean
I
having
would I would not know, but I think if you have look in these countries, it's very much a thing that when you have some cash on you and you just bribe the shit out of it, it's like you're bribing your sniper on
yeah,
Telegram.
I don't know. Abu Dhabi, though, I've heard some horror stories about people being like arrested. Okay, there's Adam. I wanted to, yeah.
Well,
We don't
let's
have to
get
dive
that.
into that though. But it just said if somebody's having sex in public, I would assume that like the legal penalty, like I wouldn't think that that person would be out of jail talking to us like in a short period of time. So, um, I don't know. That's interesting. I want to know what Adam has to say about it. Like, Adam, come back up on stage and enlighten me about the laws in the UAE, please. I'm curious. But no, I watch a lot of weird stuff on like YouTube and travel stuff and things about all over the world and like legal stuff too and like seeing people that get locked up what's the word when they get locked up like and it's
Yeah.
the punishment outweighs the crime. Abu like the UAE is like kind of known for that sort of thing. Adam,
Yeah.
what about what I just said is true? I'm gonna use you like the
Yeah,
rock.
yeah. Well, like it is actually. I think it was. I mean, they were treating it very seriously, right? And
Mm,
to be honest, I don't really understand exactly what the fallout was from
okay,
all of this, and I
right.
don't even know how the guy, yeah, as you say, is like walking around, and
Because
he's
you
obviously
don't
fine, right? It
typically
sounded fine,
yeah,
right?
typically you don't do something like that sober. Like something like this usually stems from alcohol usage, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm like and it's
Well,
illegal to possess or drink
yeah.
alcohol in the UAE, isn't
Well,
it?
well, it's yeah. Well, the issue is so it was set up. It was very much like a classic kind of LA style
Yeah.
house party, right? Like it couldn't have been more LA, right? Like it was actually literally
Right.
like stumbling into, yeah, just like, and everyone actually, funnily enough, everyone was from LA, and it was like
I
that was
bet.
just it was literally like they transported a creator party from like maybe Venice or somewhere like that
Wow.
to
Santa Monica.
to to Yas, yeah, Santa Monica to Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. But
Mm.
actually the area
That's
it is reminiscent of like those residential areas in Miami or something,
Okay.
where it's just villa
Right.
after villa after villa after villa after villa
Yeah.
after villa, right?
Yeah.
And so it didn't, but and it so it had a, so we were just kind of getting along with the event, just without thinking about it, and just kind of enjoying it, and making some new friends, and and they were, but the thing is they were obviously taking the content side very seriously as well, right? And creating, like, it's a creator house, right? If you look at the Saga DAO Twitter account, it's full of like really well produced videos, and they're producing all of this stuff, right? They're producing all of this content, and it's and so there is a ton of content
Is it
that was
Saga
being made.
Mobile DAO?
Saga DAO, yeah. Let me check
Own the phone, shape
the
the
handle.
future, Solana Beach,
Saga Mobile
California.
DAO, yes, that's
Oh, are they
correct. Yes,
really in Solana Beach?
I
That's
think so. Yeah, I think
Solana
so.
Beach is. I just found out that that's actually like, how far is it from my house? It's like down the street from me, dude. It's like not that far from
Cool.
me. It's 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, from me.
Okay.
That's
Great.
crazy.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if also possibly Solana Beach is like a state of mind, right? Like for Solana people, right? So, but yeah, and so they were making a bunch of content anyway, right? And then I guess what happened is yeah, I mean, basically, like, the police rocked up. So I think the police would be interested in this kind of event, because, like, really, I don't think you can just like throw a house party that, I think there were like maybe 100 people in the end that like showed up at this place. So the police would already be kind of like, and neighbors may report something like this, but then uh, allegedly there was this kind of this sex act that took place right on the roof, and that was the reason that the police were called, right?
That
And
was the not anything else. It was about the SEX
yeah,
again. Yeah.
yeah. And no, but it's actually so funny, because I thought it was very ironic, because, like, if you look at like those videos that the guys at Saga DAO have been making, like, they're all really well produced, they look really amazing. In this video, they should come out with like a really well produced version of this video, because they were running around like doing pieces to camera, like talking to the camera, like, oh my god, the police are here, like all of this stuff, right? And then I thought it was so, I knew that, I didn't even take the damn video. It was like my friend who was there. He just took a little video on his phone, and then we all just jumped into the car, like, as where the police were arriving, and it was just looking like it wasn't really like going to be much more fun to be had at this event. So we jumped into the car. He just pinged me the video, and then I think, like, I'm just thinking, like, damn, I should really just post something now, because, like, this will
Content,
be some
content,
amazing content. This
content.
will be some
Yes.
amazing content. Like, I mean, these guys are going to take a while. I could see that the Saga DAO, like, with their like high production values, are going to take a while to get anything out. So I thought I'd just post this, and inevitably, as it goes, right, like, immediately, like, because I think I was in the car, so there's like maybe three of us in the car were like ready to, we retweeted instantly, right? And then we put it in a group. There was like another group that we're active in, and like mute with the mutual. It's actually Juan, if you remember Juan from Pixpel.
Yes.
I was actually hanging out with him IRL as well, because he was over there, and it was his car, actually. So we published this, we put this out, and then, but inevitably, like, it didn't get much traction until, I think it was almost like 12 hours later, like, after I'd slept, and I was going back to the airport, and I hadn't even looked at my phone, I think, that morning. And then I looked at it, and I had a message from Crypto Rap, and he was like, bro, this is going viral. Like, what's going on? And yeah, but it goes to show that, like, it's real stuff that's happening on at the moment, that's what people are most interested in, actually, because it's like, it's the breaking news. And actually, I was
Send
literally,
it to a Tick and I, and we'll just pump it up some more. Animal tag. I'll
I'm
yeah,
tag
so
everybody.
confused,
yeah.
bro.
Man.
I'm just lost about the Saga DAO, because this Solana Saga was like their first phone release, or no, is that the Genesis? Oh, maybe no. The Solana Saga was their first phone, wasn't it? Solana Mobile. The Saga DAO. It says it has to do with mobile Web 3. So I'm trying to figure out, like, Own the phone, shape the future. So which phone does this have to do with the not affiliated with Solana Mobile? Because I have the Solana Seeker. So I'm wondering like what's the whole thing going on with the Saga DAO, because it looks like it
Yeah.
revolves around the mobile Solana ecosystem, but I can't figure out what
Yes.
exactly.
Is it a different phone? Is it a different phone?
They did do
Possibly.
a couple
Yeah.
different
I don't.
phones. So Solana, they had
Yeah.
wasn't it the Solana Saga? Yeah, I think it was the Saga. The Saga Seeker Chapter 2. Oh, so the phone I have is the Saga Seeker. And then, I don't know. Okay, never mind. I was confused. Solana's second phone. What it seemed like to me is that the Saga 1, I think, was the Genesis. And so they named their DAO after like the first evolution of the phone, it looks like, and then they changed the name of the phone to the Seeker. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like do more research onto what it is that
Yeah.
these guys
You
do.
you should look in. Yeah, dude, you should definitely. I mean, to be honest, I hadn't realized that. I hadn't realized that. I think the Solana mobile ecosystem is actually incredibly bullish, and it's an amazing opportunity.
Hmm.
And you've got one, haven't you? You've got
I do.
the
I've got the
Seeker, right?
Seeker. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's it like? It's just an Android phone,
It's just an
basically.
Android, yeah.
But what's
It's dope. It like works like very well. I do prefer my iPhone though. I would have like completely switched over, but now I just keep both the phones, and the other one stays like in my drawer, and then I use it as cold storage, and then sometimes if I'm feeling froggy, I'll like use it for AI generation stuff. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot of use case for it because I'm not into like the meme coin trading and stuff like that on Solana. If you're like a trader, it's got a lot of D apps that are optimized for that. But yeah, for me, I don't know. It was kind of like I just rushed into getting it because I also did want to take advantage of the airdrops, but that's still kind of like a work in progress. But dude, what do you think about the RAO, the re-centralized autonomous organization, dude? That's the with ZK
That's the new
Gold,
name.
dude. We're the
That's the new name. The
re-centralization.
RAO.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
RAO.
So so what we're doing is we're re-centralizing DeFi by condensing all of concentrating all of the capital back into one space to provide leverage against anything else, like ZK Silver, for instance, like our competitor.
Oh, ZK Silver. Yeah, that's a new one. Well, so it's for the institutions.
Mm, yeah, we could say that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. For the institutions, dude. Did you see the video I made? That's like, what's the ticker? It was like, trust us. We're basically a bank. Did you see
Yes,
that?
yes. Well,
That one didn't turn
the
out.
RAO.
That is great. That is actually a great one.
The RAO.
Yeah. Yep. The RAW.
You
Yeah.
saw
So
that
the other
one?
thing, guys.
Go ahead.
The other thing, guys, is talking about changing letters in acronyms. Did you guys hear about NFGs?
What? Okay,
That
non-fungible.
sounds like a rooftop type of deal right there. What's that?
What's the G stand for?
NFGs, my homie, right? NFGs, no, but
Oh, my NFGs.
yeah, my
On the
NFGs.
rooftop.
But for real, guys, this is actually, so NFGs are actually non-fungible graphs, and this is actually, I should post this up. Actually, I went on
a
that
graph?
day that
In what sense?
a social graph, and this is actually a very bullish protocol on Solana as well. Tapestry. I'll post it up actually, but this is basically one thing that has really been a struggle with the decentralized social media landscape is basically making a good social graph, right? So if you can imagine, like, even we're talking about Farcaster, we're doing a lot of stuff with Farcaster. Actually, there's going to be Zul's doing a space later. I have to post that up as well, to cover some of the stuff that we're doing with like porting data into porting your X data out of X and decentralizing it, or beginning to the process of decentralizing it. But basically, one of the things that we've struggled with decentralized social media is just getting a really good graph that's a social graph. So like, that's your relationships, right? What is your social graph? It's like your data, right, as in like engagement data that you kind of take around with you. I mean, it's almost like it's partly your aura, right, and how the algorithm interprets that as well. So what the Tapestry protocol is building is a basically compressed NFTs that enable the social graph to be decentrally stored. And the good news for that is it becomes cost effective, right? Because if you actually want to store, imagine like how many thousands of pieces of data are in your social graph, right? Like, you know, with all the different people that are following you, all of the different engagements, all of the different people that you follow, all of these like disparate pieces of information, to actually put that on fully immutable rails is just kind of like a costly endeavor, unless you do something like compress it into a Merkle tree, right? And that's what is being proposed by the Tapestry protocol. And I met one of the people from the Tapestry protocol, and it sounded interesting, but it was just described to me as like, oh, it's kind of like Farcaster but on Solana. But then when I looked into it, I realized that this is actually like a whole other level, and has got the potential to be something very bullish in terms of like interoperability as well, right? Partly because your social graph is inherently soul bound, right? Like it's not tradable, so therefore it doesn't need to have liquidity in the same way that you know, like a fungible token does, right? Or even a non-fungible token, right? It could be similarly to like Zool's illiquid soul-bound tokens for the ZAO, right? We can basically have an interoperable social protocol that works between Base and Farcaster and Solana without requiring like traditional liquidity bridging, right? So this is potentially something that can work without, you know, because now like this has been built with Chainlink's CCIP, right? The new bridge that came out like last week or a few days ago, whenever it was. This stuff with the social stuff. This can kind of exist like more as like interoperable kind of Legos between these different decentralized primitives that can be basically will be the backbone of the social networks of tomorrow and even today, right? Like this stuff is happening incredibly quickly now. So yeah, that was and the NFGs, right? My homie, my G. So come on. It would be amazing if something like that could get going. Or I don't know if it is necessary though, because I think the use case potentially doesn't require like a funny acronym for it to take off and get product market fit, right?
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's all you need sometimes is just a catchy acronym. I said seems like the Farcaster thing, man, no matter how hard I try, it's such an uphill battle for me to like find a home there. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like eating liver and onions. Like I'm like trying to convince
What the
like
hell?
it's like people tell me it's good and they're like, yeah, you just got to try it, man. And then the more I do it, I'm like, but I can't like it. I'm like, the more I don't know. Like
Yeah,
I'm trying
yeah,
so hard to be bullish on Farcaster. Don't get me wrong. Like
no,
yesterday I made a post, but it's like I just feel like I'm constantly just let down with it. I don't know what it is. And there's
yeah.
something about the
Well,
clunkiness of the UI as well, like the
yeah,
UX,
yeah.
the
Of
flow of
course,
it.
yes,
I don't know. There's something about it that's
yes.
counterintuitive. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's a little hinky, right?
ah, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
like
Yes,
it.
well, it's also, yeah, but it's not. The thing is, from my perspective, like, so you know, the
Mm,
Farcaster app, right? That's just a client, right? That's one instance of Farcaster, and really the thing that
mm,
is more bullish is the rails, right? It's the rails that are kind of, you know, they are more certainly way more decentralized and more accessible than the rails on existing social platforms. So, but I don't even think about Farcaster as a platform, right? And the front end is really I'd even go so far as to say like they should hardly even bother with like having a front end like that when because what's important is the infrastructure able to connect to that, right? So that's kind of what's going to happen as well. I think even this week, I think we're expecting the base app to be fully released, right? So to move out of beta, and that's going to be very interesting to see, right? Because your Farcaster data should persist into the base app as well, right?
Mhm.
But we're experimenting with this stuff. But I totally hear you. In fact, I can't really stand uh tinkering around and like trying to build a presence on Farcaster. And they've even got like a Spaces equivalent on Farcaster called Fireside, right? And people are, obviously it's got a different kind of vibe from Twitter Spaces, because it's like hosted on this, kind of what should be a decentralized network, right?
Uh-huh.
Or what's aspiring to be a decentralized network. But it's also kind of, the problem is that without distribution, like how do you kind of how do you meet new people, right? Like part of the glory of Spaces is that it's like it's full of like serendipity and different moments of just someone will see the space going on. Somebody that happens to be on X will see the space going on.
True.
They'll get interested. They'll see a cool title. They'll jump in, and then suddenly you've got like, you got the a very like interesting kind of engagement that's spontaneous, right? And that's part of the beauty of Spaces, right? So I think that to create something like that for that's fresh, like within the base ecosystem, is honestly, I think it's actually going to be a bit of a struggle for them. And I think that's why the interoperable, like if I see like what's been going on the kind of the culture side on Solana, like I'm probably like more bullish for like those people in the Solana ecosystem to be like kind of bringing the vibes, right? And that might be kind of where it happens. But at the end of the day, like due to what I outlined, it's basically it's kind of it's inevitably going to be like an interoperable network, and these things do work together in a more cohesive way than I even could have imagined before I got switched on to something like the Tapestry protocol, right? And what I will say, just to put the Farcaster thing to bed for now, is um, it's actually since we've been playing around with it, Farcaster came out and said they're gonna, they're gonna focus more on their wallet offering. I mean, we've been tinkering with the Farcaster tooling, right? And there's an SDK and there's a different API. You can run a node so that you could like create your own client, right? But it's actually it might not be the one whatsoever, right? Like it might just be a stepping stone towards something better.
Right.
But I think that but it's what we're here for is the market, right? So the fact that there's any activity
Right.
is makes it kind of worth tinkering with,
Right.
right? And understanding.
Sometimes there's like a MySpace to the Facebook. So and a
Right,
natural
Yes.
step
right.
in the evolution process where it's like things that like for Farcast, like I said, like the UI, the UX are just a little bit
Yeah.
lacking. So like let's say somebody develops something that's like very similar and runs on like some compatibility. So I definitely see
Yeah.
that. Or
So first what they
Farcaster
build
could
is
do
kind of
a revamp. The way
hinky and
yeah.
clunky, and then we come to the real deal, and it's going to be yeah, evolution on its own,
Mm,
right? I think maybe it also has its own algorithm, which is different than what we used to over here, and that is kind of, yeah, that needs to sink in a little bit, right? You need to sync with it a little bit. And so every social media has a different algorithm this way, and for streaming there's algorithms as well, and we cannot escape the algorithm movement here. On X, we had a little bit of a change in the algorithm too. Every advertisement is now grok based as well, so that makes it weird. Some post will pop off, some will not, like, and no matter how big your account is, I feel a little bit capped. I wasn't active all weekend, and then you see your engagement is slashed by more than 50% immediately, right?
you get a
And
letter
so
from
that's what,
Elon. He's like, "Where
you
have
get a
you
letter for
been?
Elon. Well,
Get
fuck
back to your
you.
desk."
But even on the best days, even if I do more, it takes 3 to 5 days to get just a little bit of an increase. And so I feel like it's capped at some point, right? I mean, the most that I got on my Good Morning post was 800 comments, and but to keep that up every day, that's a tough job. So if you see guys with that type of engagement, it means that they're actually 24/7 on
you're
the
too
timeline,
you're
right?
too politically neutral. You need to start posting like, "Hey, Charlie
Yes, I
Kirk,"
need to start. Well, yeah,
something.
well, this
You
is
see
the
those
recipe,
posts.
right?
Yeah, you see
So
anything that's
up
like
till,
controversial, you see it's
yeah,
plastered all over. You can't even
yeah.
avoid it. Yeah, it's like a train
Killing
wreck,
the
and
word.
it's like you're
Yeah.
like, why are they pushing these narratives? But it's
Well,
to
that's
make you
why.
feel
Because
something. Yeah.
here's the recipe, Tick. I tell you. So from 0 to 15K followers, what you do is reply, reply, reply. Then from 15K onwards to 25K, 30K, you are gonna drop a little bit in the reply section, and you're gonna make more posts yourself. And then after 30K, it's straight up shit posting. That's the
After how many
recipe.
K can I'm
30
that's what I'm
after 30K,
okay. That's
after
my goal.
30K, you're just all around shit posting all
Yeah,
day, every day.
that's the ultimate goal. Just posting whatever comes to my mind without any
Yeah,
second
it
thought.
does. It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah, you can't just copy a shit post, a big shit
Yeah,
posting account,
yeah.
because like people would just be like,
No,
"What the
you
hell is this
But do
can.
guy?"
you love shit
Yeah.
posting
We,
accounts?
it,
Sometimes I love them. I don't know why they hold such a
yeah. Oh
special
no,
place in my heart, but
I
sometimes like they'll speak to me
yeah.
so much. Like I'm like, damn, I think this stuff all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's how you would. So you are basically collecting your tribe. The way your tribe is collected, you
Mm-hmm.
hit them with the thoughts, right? So just like people are trying at that day when I posted like, hey, I just unfollowed 180 people because they haven't engaged since the dinosaurs. You
Mm.
know, I'm building a community here, not a museum. And somebody else was copying that, but in a different way immediately because they saw that I got traction.
Oh man, I gotta make one like
Yeah.
that, but I gotta make it like ridiculously, obviously funny. Like I don't know, like
Well, that one just came to mind because that is actually how my mind goes,
the
right? Most of
museum.
the
That's
time
a
I'm in
great
the timeline.
analogy.
Yeah,
I,
or I see the wall chain and the cookie and the quacky quacky yappy yappy things, and
oh
I'm like,
dude,
I'm coming up with memes in my head, like how
I don't
you
even know what
know,
that's comparable to, but it'd be like if you had friends that were always trying to like advertise to you, like you're like they were like, oh, you want to go get coffee, and then like you need to try Starbucks. Starbucks has the best
no,
coffee.
no, no, that's coffee. Coffee is too easy. It's like these patches that detoxify you and try to sell you that shit. That's what they're doing, right? It's like, hey, you need this Band-Aid that will take care of your liver problem. That's these are those, right? And so it's not just they're shilling anything, they're shilling bullshit.
But if you had friends that were trying to like sell you on stuff all the time in real life, you wouldn't spend
Yeah.
as much time with them because you'd be like, dude, every time I'm hanging out with
Or
that
the
person, he's
next
trying to
the
get me to
next herbal
sign
the
up for
next herbal
this.
supplements, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
fix
yeah. They're
everything in
selling
your life.
Herbalife.
These
Oh, get on
yeah,
Herbalife. You want to
Herbalife.
lose 15 pounds?
Wall
Or do you
chain
want
and
to gain
Herbalife, same
15
thing.
pounds? The same thing will make you either lose or gain it depending on, what you
Yeah, depending on
want.
what you need,
Yeah.
anything you can get laid with this. You take
Yeah.
Herbalife,
Want
suddenly sex life is booming.
I want to add 7 inches to your. Never mind.
Yeah,
But you
exactly.
get the point. The
God.
banana. Jeez, it's cleared out in here. At least we still got the Volt fam holding tight with us. You guys are the greatest. ZM, the
I pinned
Volt
it up
Army.
above, but I was thinking about if I see a poster that really annoys me about yapping, I'm just gonna take a screenshot and be like, tell me you're broke without telling me you're broke. And
Oh,
post that
last
meme.
night, speaking of, I got a call. This is a quick little story. At 1:30 a.m., I'm laying in bed with my girlfriend, and my phone goes off like loud because my ringer, I don't know why I keep it so loud. And my ringtone tone is super annoying. Anyway, I look over at my phone, and it's an ex call from some, I don't know, person that probably doesn't live in the US, and they're asking me, hey, they told me their life story. They said, hey, look, I need to share something personal with you. And I didn't really read the whole paragraph, but at the bottom it said, can you send me some money? And I was thinking like, okay, I know I joke about like being a bank, but like that's the whole thing in like DeFi is that we're our own bank because we're responsible for our own assets. I'm not actually sending money to people. Like, what the hell? I did send 1,000 SOLGODS tokens to one person that replied that they wanted to hold that's literally 12 cents US and little moon bag for them if they want. But
Moonbag.
yeah, little moon bag, 1,000 tokens. Yeah, but it was it was a way to get
Turn
eyes.
that into 1250.
50,000 or 50 cents.
50,000.
50,000 tokens would still only be what,
Just hold on to
$5?
2030, 2050.
But Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, it's crazy, man. The messages and the DMs,
The
people
messages.
asking for money. Do you get those too? I'm assuming.
No, I don't. They're not asking me for money anymore. It's
Never.
like, well, I'm not. Look. I'm not your sugar mama. That's just not
It's
gonna
because
happen.
you're a woman that they
Yeah.
probably don't want to be perceived as weak and broke. So they're like, yeah.
If they ask me for some Solana, I'm just straight up asking them for Bitcoin. I'm like, no, but you have some Bitcoin for me?
Yeah, yeah, right. Let's make a trade.
That's
Oh
what I do.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody was trying to reach me up in the comments, going like, "Oh, I love your PFP." I'm like, "How much do you love it?" He's like, "I love it so much." I was like, "You can have it for 1 Bitcoin."
Nice. I love it.
It's-
Hey, by the way, Wilder,
this
did
is
you
a free
see?
starter dog too, Tick. So
Yeah, right.
yes,
You're like, I got a bunch of them. Hey,
I got a
have
bunch.
you seen the freaking? I posted a video on my profile yesterday. So it says, "Don't get wrecked this holiday season." Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of it. I think it feels. Have you seen it?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
it's
Where is it?
it.
All right, so we looked that up, but then we had Gordon here is waiting patiently for
Oh
his
my bad.
shill.
Yes.
I know he's been waiting.
Sorry about that.
Meanwhile, though, I have pinned up above here as well the 4 year anniversary space is coming up this Friday with the Vault Army. We're gonna have some fun on
Awesome.
Friday, right? I'm gonna do some giveaways. I'm gonna give out some moon bags here and there, and to bless the Vault community with, we're just going to have a good time. It's going to be an hour later than what's the ticker here. So set your reminders for that. I am going to do a repost on Friday about it. I'm going to be active on the timeline, so I'm boosting it up too. So I'm doing my vault duty here as well, right? And we're just going to have a massive party. And so on Friday, what's the ticker just can last for an hour, because then I need to open that space. But of course, everybody is ready to roll over and join,
Nice.
and I'd love to have friends on stage. So we're just
I'll
gonna
be
vibe
there.
a little music and just conversation, right? And a little bit about Vault and how long that's been going and how long that community has been active. And so I support voluntarily right here. So let's have Gordon Shale. Gordon, are you still with us? Did you survive?
Did you have sex?
Yes, yes.
Oh, what's up, Gordon? ZM.
I'm single.
That's terrible.
Um,
Oh, your connection, my guy.
Yeah, the mic was booming for a
can you
minute.
guys hear me?
Yeah, but your
I
mic is
Yes, I can
banging
hear you.
against something, bro. Hey, Gordon.
Can you guys
It's
hear
like
me?
your
Yeah,
banana.
yeah, dude. It's like, are you hitting your
Something.
microphone, Gordon?
Thump, thump.
Yeah, that was something else. Or are you dropping your phone?
Oh yeah, I'm actually quarantined.
Gordon, tell
I'm
us what's the
actually
he's Volt Army. Is he a part of Volt
he's
Army?
got a, he's got a little bit of a beat to it now.
Boom. Boom. This sounds like a beat I
He's
made before. Yeah.
beatboxing.
Um,
He's beatboxing. Okay,
it
Gordon,
sounds like his
that's not
microphone's
gonna
getting
make it.com.
It sounds like his microphone's getting unplugged. Gordon, you're having some audio
Right?
connectivity issues.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to close his mic because Gordon,
That's
I'm
too
gonna have to
much.
close your mic because this is very bearish for people who have earphones. They're listening to something here, like maybe some alien sounds from space, right? When you
That was like Contact, the movie with the Jodie
Yeah, right.
Foster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Woom,
Right?
woom,
It's an S.
woom. Yeah. Hey, Trash Panda just pulled up, yo. Panda in the
Do that
house.
again, Tick. Say
Womp,
that again.
womp, womp, womp. Yo, check it. We're with the panda in the house. We're about to pull. I don't know. What's going on, Panda?
So making
gotta
my day.
gotta pull the trash out of the panda. What up, Dick?
Oh, what up? What up?
I'm
What up,
dying.
Wild?
Dude,
You're while
dude,
slapping your ass off. What happened?
dude, the other. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
dying.
Business as usual over here. Just
Oh my God.
absolute chaos. Dude, somebody was having sex on the roof in Abu Dhabi, and
Someone's trying
Adam
to say
got a
some
video of it through the grapevine, posted it on the internet. Adam's now facing 15 years in for exposing. No, but no. Somebody
What?
did you?
Really?
No,
They're
no,
gonna
no, not
cut off.
really,
They're gonna
not
cut off
really.
my ticker.
He's
I was
They're
joking.
threatening to
he's about
cut
to
off my
jump off the
ticker.
roof.
Yeah,
Yeah, his ticker. Yes.
What's
Hey, no,
happening?
no, no. But some
gonna cut
people.
off my ticker. Yeah, we're trying to appeal. We're trying to lobby and appeal to the sheikh but yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go through.
Yeah, no, check this out, Panda. Adam was at Solana Breakpoint, and apparently there was an influencer that was on the roof of one of the villas that was trying to get down with a lady, and like everybody, like this was this whole ordeal. It was captured on video. Everybody's like outside, like, oh shoot, and there's like police and. Anyway, so we were like covering that. So Adam got the video through the grapevine, posted it on his X, and received over almost like 300,000 impressions so far. This is over the last 24 hours. So we covered that, and then actually the guy that was the like suspect in all of that, he saw Adam live in this space. So he joined us at the beginning of the space, and he was telling us. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm still at the house party at the villa that I supposedly got in trouble in. So, yeah, man, crazy space so far. We've definitely had a wild one over here. Wild ride.
Wow. So wild ride indeed. So someone banged on a hotel roof and got arrested.
Yeah, and it reminded me of you so much. I was like, was Trash Panda there? It sounds like something.
It could have been me. It could have been me.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I wonder if Trash Panda actually has another. He's also going by Crypto Rap. He's got a secondary alt account.
Well, have you ever seen them in the same room? Have you ever seen them in the same space together?
Funny how as soon as Crypto Rap leaves, he's like, oh, I have to go do something. All of a sudden, Panda pops up out of nowhere. Coincidence? I think not.
I don't think we sound the same, though.
He just
puts how do you know? But how does he know? How does he know, though?
With the age of AI, we know that you
was it doggy style, though, Adam?
Say it again.
I don't know. I just took a wild guess. Did
Adam
record it?
You have to watch the video, man.
Adam didn't record it, though. He received the video.
Oh, I thought Adam recorded it.
No, he received the video from somebody that was there with him. So Adam was at, or are you still in Abu Dhabi, Adam? Not to dox you, but it's
no. I've left actually. I had to. Nice. Yeah, I've left. Actually, to be honest, I was while all this stuff was happening because those guys are still there, right? This KOL house, and they're like publishing all this stuff, and it's like a little bit. It's kind of starting to push the envelope of like what I believe might be deemed acceptable, right? So I think they're also like for publishing stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Online. So they are like quite. They are just going for it, so whatever. Like, but I had my own sense of like I'm kind of happy I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As this is going viral,
for sure, dude. So it's the whole. I'm a big advocate of like play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and this is definitely walking into some like dangerous territory.
Yeah. The thing is like from. It's really like that. I think from my perspective, like I just posted a very like a 12-second video, literally a 12-second video with just some very like high level information, right? Like of what has happened, and then as I kind of come to understand, like some of the information is different. Like I don't know how Crypto Rap didn't I don't know how he's not still in prison or whatever, because I thought he was taken away, but that it's he's okay, right?
What
like
if it's
he's
a stunt?
out.
What if it's a stunt? What if the whole thing was orchestrated?
What if it was the social engineer? What if they were socially engineering me to publish the video?
Like
that, and they needed organic reach, right? They needed organic.
They needed some organic Adam.
Because
they needed organic reach rather than. Yeah.
Think about it. It'd be cheaper to pay for this to be orchestrated rather than to get out of jail for breaking the law. So, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
But, like, think about it. Like, $10K could go probably a long way with, like, orchestrating something like this. It would probably cost, like, 3 times that to recover from the legal consequences, if I'm to guess off the top of my head.
I mean, who the hell? Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, it was definitely the police. I mean, the thing is like, for sure, like, I don't think, I mean, these guys, like, I mean, bless, like, hats off to, SOLGODS, like, and, nice people and good project, I think, and, like, good attempt for the content house and everything like that. But I do think that those Abu Dhabi police aren't messing around and doing this kind of. I think it
Yeah,
would
for
be
sure.
hard to get them in on a stunt
Right.
like this, right?
Yeah.
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 No,
So
that's
because
not
it's like
possible. No,
Well, what if they
no.
weren't
no,
actually doing it then?
they're
Like,
upholding
what if
the
they made
crown,
it look,
right? Yeah.
what if they made it look like they were doing it, and then they had proof that they weren't actually doing like penetration or whatever
No,
happens when people have sex? I wouldn't know
these guys know.
how to have sex. I need to get their number. I need to. I'm just being
Don't
stupid.
worry, Tick. I
That
got
will
you,
get
fam.
you thrown off
I'm
the
in,
roof
I'm
of
in
the small
Norway.
tick over
I'm
there.
totally
That's no
kidding.
problem.
No, I'm totally
Wild
kidding.
Tide made some interesting thing. Norway's like the #1 satisfaction thing, apparently. So
I
yeah,
know. That's why you're such a
No,
beast.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know a thing or two, Tick.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
no.
I know how you get down, Panda. Yeah, that it
I
totally
get down in the
reminded me of
trash.
something the trash panda would be doing though. Wild. I don't know if you've heard. Panda's a wild man, and he's got some stories.
tell me
So
about it, my guy. Tell me
yeah,
about it. They also, look, I'm not gonna lie, he might be wild, but when we saw that the satisfaction from sex was the highest in
right.
Norway, I was immediately contacted Panda. I was like, "Is this true?" Fact checking. He's like, "Yes, it's 99%." I was like, "Well, our
Oh my
country here is a
goodness.
night. You know what's the lowest?
U.S. is some of the lowest. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but even
Japan.
more lower, Japan and
Yeah.
China is like really
It's the
suppressing over
weirdest
there.
thing. And the
Yeah,
Japanese are capable of some like really unhinged stuff too. Ever since I was a
yeah,
kid,
that's why, right?
watching what
Because
they're
they're suppressed. And
wow.
so they get like
Well,
weird fantasies that they want to do, but they can
Yeah,
never
dude.
play it out. And so weird
Sometimes
things will happen. Yeah.
it definitely
you
can
know, the
cross a
ladies
line.
first.
I've yeah, ladies first.
Then it's
The
more fun
ladies
for you
first.
afterwards.
That is true. Maybe even once,
Yeah,
twice, three
yeah,
times.
Well,
yeah.
there's even some
How many
there's
times
even
she can last?
there's even in Tokyo you can literally book a hotel room just for the purposes
Oh
of
yeah,
smashing it up
yeah.
completely,
In
right? Like
Japan
the
too.
whole that's
Yeah,
yeah
and they
yeah
have these weird hotels too. Like they have like themes. In Japan, they have these
yes.
themes.
Well,
They have like a
the love
dinosaur
hotels,
hotel, loved hotels.
yeah
Yes.
Have you guys
yeah
been there?
I,
Well, no, I haven't been in the hotel, but yeah, somebody pointed out that was a love hotel because I thought, what the hell is this? It's like a big theme about
yeah
dinosaurs,
love
like
hotels,
Jurassic Park. It was
yeah.
a love hotel.
Love hotels are actually the way, like, because if people hook up, but because like people's living spaces is not huge, right? Often in Japan, and then also like it could be quite sparse, and people might live with their parents even, right? Like even like well into
Yeah, you live with your
adulthood. So
family. Yeah.
yeah, it's quite common. So love hotels are the culture for like hooking up, right? And
Also, I think a lot of people don't know. I do have very much Japanese and Chinese friends, and for them, it's very normal to cheat, right? So in these countries, cheating is not really cheating, and so that's why they have these hotels as well, or these areas that you can do that in, because it's not really even the females in these countries are less likely to see that as cheating. It's more emotional cheating. That's cheating. But just having sex, no, that's not cheating. And that's because the wife here, or the main squeeze, has a different function almost. And they see that separate from their fantasy of being in love. And that's why you see that these girlfriend cafes that work there, right? These concepts work there because they see girlfriend and wife and or main squeeze very different from each other or separate from each other. I'm not sure why that is. It might have something to do. If I would like, analyze this, I would look into concubinage, right? That has been not too long ago abolished, right? So culturally they're moving forward, but it's still very much in the psyche that you can have more than one woman, but the main woman actually rules the other woman, and so it has status. And but the in love experience is not something they seek from marriage at all. Unlike here, where we like to have that experience and then attach marriage to that, not so over there. Marriage is very much a construct, very much, still very much a say about parents being involved in that decision as well. You can forget If the parents don't like you, there will be no marriage, right? So that is, yeah, here it's kind of like you want them to vibe a little bit together, sure. But if it doesn't, you can still marry the person. It's not so much over there. It's just culturally not a thing. And so they have these girlfriend experience bars, and even now also for boyfriends, right? You can rent a boyfriend or a girlfriend for a day, and there's not no sex involved. That's just to have the girlfriend
Oh,
experience.
that is so weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, the girlfriend experience thing. Yeah,
but it comes from that tick because they don't have that experience with their spouses.
that's
See?
sad, dude. Yeah, no, that's like really I
Yeah,
yeah, I'm familiar with this like existing, and like I've heard I knew a lady that actually did that, and she was like offered girlfriend experiences and stuff to guys, and you know, I was kind of familiar with like information about her clients. I mean, she didn't dox them to me, but just like what they were like and stuff, and you know, like wealthy older men that like, you know, just are like lonely and stuff, and I'm just like, damn, like it is
yeah,
bizarre. It's just a weird like
yeah.
reflection of our society and like what you know what we are as
Well,
like
like I said,
humans.
and the men that do it, their wives think it's fine because they don't need to do that part of the job. That's not for
My
them.
girlfriend would not be okay with that at all.
Yeah, well, in the Western countries, that's because we attach the love thing and being in love with
Yeah,
marriage and very much dating, and over there, that's not so much a thing. I guess for the younger population, they start to get with it a little bit, but it's still very traditional over there when it comes to filial piety. It's a thing over there that we just don't have over here.
it's
This is
called
something that's really
filio piety. What
piety. Yeah. So
Filial
that's
piety, yes.
filial piety. It's you. Basically, your
love
parents
fidelity?
created you, and
Oh,
therefore they invest. Also, very different in Asia than in Western countries. Parents there actually investing heavily in their children, and might even later down the road expect that when they're older, that their children are taking care of them, also financially.
it's a
So they see,
Confucian virtue. How funny is that? We were
yes,
just
very
talking.
much, yeah.
Huh. I just read that, and it's funny because we were just
So
talking about
they
Confucius last
created
week.
you, so you need to honor them, right? And that is kind of not just with the parents, but you see in these countries very much also in business, right?
It's
You cannot,
I think it's absolutely important. It's I think that a debt owed for life. I think that yeah, because there is like a an opposing kind of belief or whatever, but I think that like
yeah.
as we get older that we are responsible for our
Yeah, but
parents.
it's
Like it's
it's
only
it's
right.
not just that, right? It's also very much in businesses when somebody older, what he said, he or she says flies, right? And so you need to address them with certain wording as well. We see this in other countries. You might not see it in Western countries anymore. We kind of had that, but we kind of grew out of that.
But the
But it's,
respect towards
yeah, no,
the
also that
yeah.
you call different. Same as soon as you go to Turkey, you see
Uh-huh.
that spreading out, and you go into Asia Minor, and in Asia, you see that you address an older brother different than a younger brother, and an uncle who's older, much older than you, very different
Mm,
than your own family uncle. So
mm,
it's you need to be careful who looks a certain way and is older than you, that you address them with the right wording for it.
right.
Yeah,
It
and
makes
if you don't
sense.
do it, that is really being
Disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I don't
absolutely
know,
makes
Adam,
sense.
can you confirm this? I'm not talking any bullshit.
Yeah, and I think it's comparable to when somebody has like a doctorate, and if you refer to them like as Mister, and it's like no, that's it's doctor. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of time in
Yeah,
school to earn
exactly.
this
And
title.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there is you get that with age. So you only need
Mm.
to grow
So
old, and then you amass that respect already. And in
I,
Japan, it's even so that in the business, these young people might have good ideas, but when their manager or their older person even says no, then no, it is, right? So that innovation is sometimes being gate kept a little bit by the older generation.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to
Adam,
earn
go
it.
ahead.
Okay, Adam, what were you saying? I'm sorry. I totally cut you off when she asked you a question. Adam. Oh no. I'm getting the silent treatment now. What did I do? Adam, are you mad at me?
Adam,
Oh,
Gaga.
just oh damn! I just saw a video of a Shiba Inu shooting all these guys with a rocket launcher on his back. Jeez, AI
I don't
is
know,
getting
but Panda has his hand
crazy.
up as well. Panda, what's up, man?
Oh yeah. No, I just wanted to, in case you guys haven't done it before, we're doing like pre-sale and like cheaper thing for what's coming in Solgod or Sol City, the Mint. I don't know if you guys are like on top on that thing.
No, I am not
Mhm.
because I was disconnected over the weekend a little bit, Panda, and
Yes, same, same. What's
stuff
going on?
is
Yeah, okay.
What's the alpha
stuff is
on Soul
coming back.
So
City? Yes.
the Sol City thing is basically creator, right? He's been an asset manager for I don't know 11 years, running multiple businesses successfully and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do is we have the Soul Gods, so we need the Soul City and the creatures who live there. They need an economy. So we're gonna do this mint as a passive income, which is amazing, which I've been waiting for months to reveal. And it will be 20% of it is allocated and profited from liquidity pools, and the rest is pretty much from already like up and going asset management through creators team, um, with the quarterly payouts. And I think he said it was like minimum 5 to 7% monthly back on your investment, and that's like in the lowest. Yeah, we're giving like low numbers, so that's happening. And there's already like from the pre-sale or the what's it called, like allocations for whitelist and stuff. 40% of the mint is already like uh, sold for and stuff. So right now we're just like getting wallets, how many people would want to mint and stuff like that. So, you know, the projects who are close to us and who believes in it and stuff like that gets
How
some
much
cheaper.
is the mint? Because I've been minting a ton
Aha.
of other stuff as well. I need to watch my minting, my NFT spending.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these ones will pay you back though. It's supposedly
Yeah.
like a year and your investment is back pretty much. And it's gonna grow. But the mint price for whitelist or stuff like this is 0.55, I believe, and the normal mint is 0.75 Solana, and it's a 5,555 collection, so it's a bit bigger, and 20% compounding, 65% payback of the earnings to the holders, stuff like that. I can give you they're about to make the
Yeah.
what's it called,
Well,
white paper.
yeah. Hand me over the white paper. Hand me over the white paper. Let's
Yeah,
see.
it's coming tomorrow, I believe.
Yes.
Tomorrow or the day after. Then
All
I
right.
can come and share it so you can read all about
Yep.
it, like everything.
That's a great one. Let's do that, you guys. Let's come back tomorrow and then we alphanize that a little bit more and structure it. So hopefully we get some more people. I'll be more engaging on the timeline so we can get some more people in. I know I was kind of lackey tacky for about a couple of days here and then you lose momentum.
Yeah, but the market is screaming red
Yeah,
as
well,
well, so it's
that's
a bit
true.
quiet.
It's a pre-holiday here, right? Everybody's busy doing their thing, and you immediately see other spaces also being slashed in half, right? This is not a great time to be out here on the timeline, but
But it's still a time to be alive.
still a
It's
time
still
to
a,
be
it's still a
well.
time to be
Yes,
alive.
I was gonna go there. Wook is back with us. So before we're gonna close out, we could talk a little bit to Wook here. Wook, what are you up to, man?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, did you see that? You see that video?
Which video?
It's pinned up above here. It's the first pin post.
The Binance thing? I seen this. Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
this
see
coming through the
this?
timeline. This shit's
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
as hell.
You missed
Fucking
it.
AI.
Yeah, you missed it.
Fucking
You know, we
AI.
got some tea in here. Somebody brought the tea.
Oh no, I see that. I seen or and heard you guys saying at the start. Do I know who? No. Do I care? Maybe, but yo, people are people. People are gonna do stuff. So people got caught because they're in a country where you're not supposed to do stuff. But and
Yeah,
I don't know if
right.
it's like why, like it because it was in like on a balcony
Makes
or
it
on a
extra fun.
rooftop. I don't know. But hey, they do them. Have fun.
Yeah, in these countries, you do not want to do these things public, right?
Yeah.
That's just the thing, and that that you're not at home, right? You go out to these countries, don't do that. That's a no.
Maybe that's his thing though, like crypto rap. He's always on TikTok, I believe, and like chilling himself on there. Maybe that's just his kink, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be fun. We all have some jobs to do, so we're gonna close out this space in a little bit. Is there anything we need to touch on, Adam? Did we forget anything in our?
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, I was rugging for a second there, but I didn't get to respond to the filial piety stuff. But I think we can get back into that. I think that might be a discussion for another day, perhaps.
All right, let's do that for another day. Tick. We need a Christmas version of what's a ticker.
Are you not doing the long spaces no more, Wild?
Well, look, there's some things I need to wrap up here in order for me to remain bullish the rest of the week because I kind of lost momentum over the weekend here. And
Okay, okay, okay. I get you.
yeah. So I need to get back on the horse, on the X horse.
Yeah, it's hard for me to be on all your spaces now. Actually, my space ends at 9,
Yeah,
and then you guys is
yeah,
end.
we're in the same time zone, but there's a lot of spaces, and for FROGE, I'm gonna do a lot of spaces. I'm gonna give away some whitelist that was specially created for giving away in some spaces, and so I'm gonna be in Soulflare's nap space tomorrow, and so that's scheduled. So I'm gonna be in other spaces too for the FROGE whitelist, right, for these AR NFTs, and yes, Adam.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just remembered that there's the third AMA for the Zabul today. I pinned it up from Zool, and that's going to be very bullish. So it would be great to see you guys there if you're around. Do drop by, and it's actually happening on the Zabul leaderboard, right? So it's a
Oh,
space, but
that's
it's
right.
actually it's off X. It's off world. It's an off
Yes,
world space, right? So it's happening in one of the off world colonies, right? So let's which is the Zabul leaderboard. So yeah, do well to check that out. It's up on the Jumbotron.
I'm gonna
And
do
this
a
is
space with Sal tomorrow, actually, Adam.
oh, you are?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. At a
Amazing.
different time later, and so I'm gonna post a link in the morning, or else I'm posting too much space links. There's tons of. Wook is telling me, "Well, you don't have space anymore, man." The whole week is gonna be full of space. Is what's the ticker? I'm gonna be in Crypto Moonlight. I'm gonna be in Nep Space. I'm gonna host Sol Space. I'm gonna do the anniversary space for Volta on Friday. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna keep rocking around that Christmas tree all the time until we don't, right? But yeah, the market's not looking that great, you guys. But it's, you know what to do, right? Huddle on. I'm thinking of launching a token.
DCA right now is like such a great time to be DCAing. Or is that how you? Is that how you say it? Is that the word?
Well, look, that depends on what you're DCAing. If it's Bitcoin, I would wait, right? I would not, I would wait for a more dramatic drop here.
You don't think that the bottom is in?
No,
I actually reopened a long on Solana.
yeah,
At 128. Where did
No,
you?
no, 1, 2, 3, 5.
Whoa! Is it that
even more
cheap right
bullish
now?
than
Oh
before.
yeah, it's 124 right now. That is
Yeah,
such a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
price.
But
I don't see it going down
yeah.
to 115. Do
but it
you?
can still go lower.
Yeah, it
So
will
it's,
go
How?
it's
lower.
quite risky.
So Bitcoin will go, will try and go back to 84, and then if we fall through to back to 80.8, there's volatility coming
80?
in on a
Like
daily, you guys, this
80?
week. This week is going to be look, okay, let me teach you a little bit because yes, also we're going to revamp what's the ticker a little bit in the new year. Is going to get ready for that. We're going to have some powwows about it in the back office, you guys, Tick and Adam.
Yes, indeed.
But
Oh, what are you gonna do?
there's also going to be a segment when there's going to be a tiny bit of education, like a 10-minute ordeal. So let's do that a little bit. Let's start experimenting with that a little bit. I want you to go on the Bitcoin chart. The Binance chart will do. Doesn't matter much. And then I want you to go on a daily. Then I want you to put on the Bollinger Band as an indicator. Put on the Bollinger Band Alert R1 by Just Uncle. That is a Bollinger Band indicator that actually has alerts in that for buying or selling, right? For longing or shorting. So it's a very helpful if you want to trade on a Bollinger Band. I don't like to trade on a Bollinger Band. However, I do like the Bollinger Band and the Bollinger Cloud to see if there's a price squeeze coming in. Because every time we squeeze price, we get volatility coming in. So it just means that we're low volume and we're going. We're getting cornered price wise, right? So we need to make a move, and then the move's going to be up or down. And so I want you to put the Bollinger Band on and then see what that looks like on the daily tick.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, and there you see it happening, right? The Bollinger Band turns blue. That's the pinch, and then every time it pinches, you see there's a move come in. Usually,
Oh.
see, yeah,
Oh, damn.
and
I didn't
so
realize. So
yeah,
the blue shows up multiple times. I thought that was just like a recent, that just shows up
no,
recent, but I can see, yeah, that there's a squeeze there, that there's a
yeah,
squeeze, yeah, where it gets blue. And then right
yeah,
here, there was another one on the July 30th
yeah,
of
yeah.
25. But yeah,
There's
wow.
also on the daily. Now I want you to put another indicator on it. Just do a regular RSI with a 14 close. I think 14 close is the one that pulls up immediately. Just a regular RSI.
There it is.
Yep, on the daily, and there you see bearish divergence,
Mm,
right? So we have an overall bearish divergence on the RSI, and that bearish divergence actually started in May 25. That we started to create the bearish divergence, and then confirming it on July 15 and October 5th, right? So that's where you see these tops on your RSI. Now, when you take a little line here and you draw a line over the tops, you can see that the line is down. It's a descending line, right?
from the tops of the wicks, right?
Yeah. So do you see the bearishness of that RSI, right? So you also see that we now on the daily, we weren't before. In the weekend, we still look good before the weekend, but on the weekend, nothing happened, even though the setup was looking so nice with a golden cross up, right? And then in the golden cross, we went to 99K with the wick, and now we are being punished from there. So you see that we're going through the moment where the momentum is down down
Right,
with through the trend line, and so that on the daily tells us that this week we're going to take a dunk, right?
right.
Together with the Bollinger Band here squeezing us out, also with a sell signal on the daily. Yeah, so
It
there
looks
might
like
be a little bit more blood.
until
Yeah.
the middle of January at least, huh?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, like I said before, we need, in order for us to say Bitcoin is still in a bull run, we need 104.8 by the end of the month. If this is not happening,
It
then
can't
bear
happen.
market is
It's
just going to be confirmed. You guys just
unless
got to
we
deal with that.
Yeah, unless we just start printing crazy, it would take so much money to do that. There would need to be like what, 800
No.
$800 million or something. Well,
Well, you know
no,
what?
or
Bitcoin can pump, right? Then that can come from many different things. So
The
we're
Hail Mary can come.
the Hail
I,
Mary is
I'm gonna
looking
ask
less
Grok.
likely to be. I mean, there was a 20% chance that reduced now. Every day that we don't pump with Bitcoin is 2% reduction in that Hail Mary ever happening. We need to get price back so dramatically,
Yeah,
and then with the holidays coming, don't know
bearish.
what to tell you, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because last year it was even with all the bullishness that we had at the all-time high that was in November. Then it pulled back until January 20th. Then we had another pump, and then since January 20th, it's just been, we're down 88% on a lot of charts
hmm
since
hmm
January 20th. But there was like a little window in between Thanksgiving and when Trump took office where there was like a pullback, but there was very bullish sentiment because it's like we had just hit all time high, and like everyone's like, ooh, there are a lot of people entering crypto, a lot of new wallets. Things like that. I took a screenshot of the Bitcoin on the daily with the RSI on it, and I want to ask Grok, how much would it take for us to print green candles all the way up to 104 by the end of December? Just out of curiosity to see how
Yeah.
much it would actually
Well,
take.
there's of course one big reason that people point towards is the BOJ hike, right? So that's the Bank of Japan. So the rate hike there triggers some is hawkish for the market here. We also see that the stock trades for when it comes to so Coinbase shares are sliding as well. We see stock is falling, and then Bitcoin sees a 1 year low in active addresses. There's just a lot of things here that are just And we see this a lot. We see a lot. What happens in the bear market is that we see bullish setup. So we see a fourth hour daily golden crosses, weekly golden crosses, but the bulls need to show up, and the bulls are not showing up, and that tells you we are in a bear market. When the bulls are not at home defending floors, then the bears are in charge, right? I mean, there's just not much we can do about it. If the setups can be so great for bulls to take charge and make money out of momentum, but when they don't show up, then that's where the bears are in charge. And in reverse, when Bitcoin is in a bull run, the bears are scared to take profits, right? So that's and there's not really news here. We see though the a bullish news would be that the miners are hoarding their Bitcoin and they ain't selling, and they just sold off a ton in November. But otherwise, there's this long-term OGs are selling through covers. Yeah, and so there's just tons here that we can dive into, and that people are gonna be like, yeah, that's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
The real reason is that the chart told us. I told you guys when we lose that 50 EMA, we're done. We're in a bear market, and there's no hopium here with wild here.
I can't even believe
Because
it.
that makes no
It's
sense, right? I
it's
called it
part of
for
me
you.
part of me was hoping that you might be wrong because there's still like an 80-20% chance that like it could do the opposite,
Yeah,
right?
but
Like
80/20 is a big deal
yeah, it
in
is.
trading. So
And it
so
goes to
so
show it's like and you say, you've told me the trend is your friend. How does it go? The
I
trend
feel
is
like
your friend
yeah.
until it's not.
Yeah,
And so it gives you an idea. It's like there's the way that Bitcoin moves. It's like a slow slug. Like it takes a lot of liquidity to like move the
yeah.
needle.
To move it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
To
it.
the up and to the down. Well, the bullish argument here is that there's not much retail in Bitcoin. So a lot of short-term holders have sold against loss already. And it's just basically big money fighting here, right?
Oh,
So
I
who's
found out
gonna
the
dunk?
number.
Who's gonna
It's
dunk
about
on who?
$300 billion of net buying pressure in order to meet the 104,000 BTC mark, because the market
Yeah.
cap would need to be at 2 trillion, and so about $250 billion would need to buy into Bitcoin in order to push it above the 104 resistance mark. That's the
Yeah.
number that it gave Grok gave me. That's insane.
Yeah. That's insane, isn't it?
That's a lot of money.
So that's a lot of money, but Bitcoin can do it. It's not, don't be afraid of the numbers
Uh
here
huh.
because when the FOMO happens, it happens. It's just that, look, the chart told us where we were going. And so any news will just be an explanation for what happened. And, but news we cannot think of
Yeah.
on forehand what that might be. We can speculate, but when you look at the chart, this was not speculation. I said we need to hold this in order to remain bullish on the weekly. We didn't, and
Yeah.
so I said, well,
And you said
that we're
to
80% in the bear market, you
de-risk.
guys, right?
Right, and then you
And
said to
de-risk,
de-risk. That's like
fucking risk,
great
yeah.
advice. If you are like
Yeah.
uh, overexposed in crypto, and if you had de-risked when you mentioned that when we were at like God, we were at like 102 at that time.
Look, de-risking
Yeah.
is very easy, you guys, but you got to press the sell button, even at a loss. Because here it is. When things are pumping,
Mm-hmm.
you can toss that bag right in and be 80% sure that where your bag is going to pump in green,
Mm.
right? When things are turning bullish, you can always decide there to market buy and press the button on buying.
Mm.
However, if you don't sell and we're going to go 20%, 30% lower, you would have wished you sold.
Yeah.
So you can buy back lower and save yourself. That's de-risking, and everybody needs to be learning how to do this. I mean, traders do this when we're in the middle of a range and the price reaches the middle. Immediately there, 50% of the bag is being sold because 50% when things are pulling to the, if it's moving in the middle, it's kind of even Steven, right? For bears and bulls, anything might happen. So I'm gonna take the bag out at least 50%. So when it moves down, I can make use of that opportunity with that liquidity. If it pumps, I can still add to my position then and there because now the chart looks like 80% going to pump. And so the money is moved upwards then. And I can still make that decision, right? You not need to FOMO. That's the thing. Do not FOMO. If it's green, you can still, what's the issue? You just add to your bag there and all be pumping green. However, if you don't sell and price falls for 20, 30%, what are you going to do? Now you need to add out of your own fiat probably injection of liquidity to save that bag, or you just gotta hodl on for a lot longer, and you're gonna be bearish about your bag, and you're gonna be feeling FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt because you didn't position yourself right and you didn't de-risk. This is crypto is a risky market to trade in, very risky. It's the highest. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to de-risk and how to set up your portfolio to take on losses, right?
God. See, yeah, speaking
So
of
you're over.
losses, Ika, I just keep getting myself wrecked. How in the hell? It's back down.
Ika was pumping
Whoa,
hard. I had a
dude.
long out on Ika.
Whoa.
I made almost $4,000 on Ika on that pump
Look at
by
Ika
going
today,
long.
though. Have you seen it? It's
Yeah, it's a wreckage.
it's down like hella
Yeah,
down.
but everything adheres to the market. So when you get good pumps, we are not holding any floors here because Bitcoin is in a bear market. Nothing will hold a fucking floor.
Right.
Look at the dominance, still sitting on 59. It's actually the dominance looks like it's hiking up. Also, that indicates a little dumping on Bitcoin, right? Coming weekend. So this is the thing, your floors won't hold in a bear market. That the floor will have another floor and that will have a trap door into another floor. That's what that is. Even though some days there might be some news, there might be bullish sentiment, suddenly volume comes in, and you can get a 40% pump, like on Ika last weekend, like almost 40%. And so that's why for me it doesn't matter up or down. I trade both ways. But if you are a bull, you have a long bias and you need to change some things around because it looks like we need to get more bear hats on, right? You get your bear hat on. Because being a bull here, having a bull bias is not good because your short's going to be easier to see,
Mm.
easier to trade because we flip bear. Now, the other way in reverse, like if we're in a bull run, you need to have bull bias, means that you have a long bias. So the longs will setups will work better than the short setups. But right now we're in reverse. The shorts are easier. You saw the longs being very, very iffy because we had some great setups last week. Last Thursday looked like a banger of a day to trade. All of a sudden, boom, volume drops and bearish. And that's because we're flipped bear. So every good long setup is not panning out the way that it would in a bull run, right? When we're bullish. And so your shorts are going to have an easier time here. That's just facts. Man, I can't help you if you. But we were putting on that Bollinger Band and looking at that short squeeze. It's all on the live stream, you guys. That is trading with the Bollinger Band. I'm not a big fan of a Bollinger Band coming to when it comes to trading alerts, even though it's right. If you look at this indicator by Uncle, that Bollinger Band Alert R1. That is actually a good one to use on a daily. Now, if you use this indicator on the lower time frames, it starts to be less accurate. Then you need to tighten up these Bollinger Bands a little bit in the, how do you say, in the section, into the settings, right? So you can go to settings and tighten the Bollinger Band there for lower time frames if you want to use this one as a short or a long indicator. Now, we don't see squeezes like this on the daily a lot, so this might also indicate there's tons of volatility coming in, right? That's when you're gonna get pinched. Price is getting pinched, and that RSI is confirmation of what we see on the pattern and what we see on the Bollinger Band. You pull up the RSI, and yes, that one is now facing downwards as well, doing a little bit of a downward dog, right? Ta-da. And so yeah, that's it. I wish I had better news to share here, but
Not a
doesn't matter
golden
even if we
cross
go.
at the
No,
bottom like that.
that's on the daily on the RSI.
Uh-huh. That's a
It's a
death
death
cross.
cross. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. You don't want that. So, yeah, yeah.
It
We,
means
we're
the
gonna have to
outflow is
reset.
high, right? Because it's oversold.
Trend and momentum. So you have the time on the well. That we're gonna keep that for another day, where I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
explain the RSI, also the stochastic RSI, because it has to do with time and trend. So the RSI can actually come down, but the volume might be very low. But because the day passes, right, it takes that down in low volume. So the RSI itself doesn't actually tell you much in about how much we're going down, right? Because it doesn't calculate volume. So if we look at volatility, that's where sometimes I see a pattern like Bitcoin, and then I'm like, this looks like a price squeeze, and I'm going to check that with a Bollinger Band to see if there is a price squeeze. In this case, yes, there is a price squeeze coming up on the daily, and then I see the price squeeze. So price squeezes means tons of volatility, volume. Whether that's being up or down, there's volume coming. That's that pinch that tells you that is going to happen. And that in combination with an RSI just to confirm the move, right? And it does show that the RSI does have space to actually take Bitcoin down to 80K. Does have space. It doesn't say that it needs to, but it does have space on the RSI to do it in order for the RSI to land in oversold conditions.
I see.
So with the RSI, you kind of want to always trade between 20 and 80 points. That would be if we move in between up and down there. That's very healthy. You see, most of the stock market is never coming into in severe oversold or severe overbought. But in crypto, we very much often do, and that's because the volatility in this game here is just a tad bit higher, right? That's all you freaking degens are here for, right? That's what we're here for. So no crying in the casino. You want volatility. You want 50%, 60%. Stock market, when you get 3%, that's a bull run. You're doing so good, you get 3%. So but here we're doing 50, 60, 70, 90%. We want that, right? But just realize that these numbers to the upper are equal risk to the down. It's not up only. And we wish, but it's not, right? So we just gotta, like I said, de-risk when you need to. This is gonna be so important for you to survive, right? And so, yeah, or else, what are you doing in this market? Also, that may be something that you need to ask yourself to begin with. What are you doing? What do you want out of this market? What do you want to do? You want to be a trader? What kind of trader do you want to be? What do you need to learn to become that trader, right? Because there's tons of different ways to trade, maybe ways that you haven't even thought of before. I like to trade liquidity pools. I love that. Liquidity pool trading is so relaxing for me, right? And so you definitely need to be knowing what you're doing there as well. But that goes for everything. You can be a scalper, a swing trader. You can trade the futures this way too.
With
You can trade on a daily. You can trade on a weekly. You can trade on a monthly. A lot of people that I know, Bitcoin maxis, they make 2 trades a year, maybe 1 trade a year, but they make a yearly income doing that, right? And they do the for sure trade. So they're going heavy in one trade that they spot and works for them. Basically, a move on Bitcoin, usually when the stochastic weekly cross is over 20 points, right? When it crosses up into a golden cross and is then confirmed over 20 points, uh, that's when they take on the trade and they make a yearly income based of that. So that could be a thing too. So it's also the timing that you trade in is going to be very different. If you're a scalper, you're going to be on the 3 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, right? These charts. If you're not, you're having no business being on these charts to begin with, right? Because all the time is telling you on the chart is, so if I want to make a trade within 15 minutes, I'll go to the 3 minute chart. If I want to make a trade within half an hour, 20 minutes, I'll go to the 5 minute chart, right? When I'm on the hour, when I need to make a trade within an hour, I'm looking at the 15 minute chart. That's what you should not be looking at the 15 minute chart if you're buying Bitcoin, for years to hodl, or if you're buying something that you trade this week. The 15 minute chart is going to give you no alpha, right?
Hmm.
It's going to deceive you into seeing something that might not play out on a larger time frame. So you got to look at the correct charts for all of that. So the daily is kind of telling us what's happening in the coming week, and then the weekly is going to tell us what's happening within 6 weeks, and then the monthly is going to tell us what's happening in 6 months, within 6 months. That's basically where we're at with that stuff, right? And then the 2 monthly for the whole year. It's something like that. And that also depends on how long the project is, how much history there is in the chart. So that for the younger projects, makes no sense to look at the weekly because they're not even a year old. So don't even go to the weekly. Just stick with the daily or 4 hour with those for more macro predictions. But yeah, you can do that. You can do arbitrage trading. Arbitrage between liquidity pools is a big one. And that's a very yeah, expert level one, I should say. Right? Most people are trying to make some swings here and there. But even then, so you know, learn something about TA so you can at least see what's going on and spot some moves up ahead. But never forget, we are not going to win from big money squeezing us out, right? On Bitcoin, trying to do all that. So stop trying to buy the Pico bottom and sell the Pico top. This is not a thing. Even if you move in the middle and you make money, you made money. It's about making the bread. It's not about maxing out. That's dangerous, right? So
Yeah, it's
still,
greed. Greed
yeah,
is not your friend, right? That's
yeah,
it's so easy when there's one of these pumps and then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait and see how it goes, right? That's the enemy. I'm just gonna wait a little. Oh, this could go. I think there's one South Park episode that really encapsulates this when they they're at the casino, right? Do you remember that one?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
they're, they're winning
Yeah,
they're winning and they literally double their money, so they get enough money to buy back. I think it's they were actually buying back the land from the casino, right?
yeah,
It was
yeah,
kind of like a
yeah,
reverse takeover from the native Americans. um and then they just but imagine, guys, if we did it one more time, we'd be rich
yeah.
beyond our wildest dreams.
That's right.
And then they lose it all, and that's just it, game
Your
over, right?
imagination
So
takes over, right? This is I have
mm,
had this with when I had a copy trading account at Big Cat, right? So I had people were copying my trades. Plus, I had a Telegram group where I gave swing trades. So I gave entries and exits, and it never failed. It never failed, and people were always in there with like a lot, right? That's a red flag as well. I consider myself a decent trader. I never go into a trade with more than 5K. And 5K is actually the top of what I do, but I never get in. With 5K, that warrants for me that I see something that's 95% solid, and these trades don't come by easy. So I'll never smash it with the same amounts. And my amounts are adjusted to the potential that the trade has. Is it at 70% potential? Well, guess what? I need to adjust what I'm investing then, right? So the amount changes. But these people went in with 10K, 15K, right? And they were shooting for the moon. And they were not selling. And when I asked them why they were not selling, while I gave them the exit, it's always I thought it was going to do more. And I was like, well, this is weird. How how did you think that? And some people actually gave an answer like, yeah, I need this to pay off my mortgage. And I was like, yeah, but now you projecting the money you need, the amount you need on the chart. And the chart does not care what you need. It can care less, right? You just take what you got, what you win. If that's the exit, then we're gonna exit, and we're gonna exit with profit. Means we can play again tomorrow, right? But it's like, yeah, I needed $280,000 to pay off my mortgage. And it's like, yeah, well, okay, so now you lost, they didn't lose. They were still in profit at that time if they would pull the trigger. But, sometimes you project your needs on the chart. Like, I need this. But if you come from a place of need, that means you ain't having it. So you're coming from a place of lack. That's a place of loss, not a place of win. So you need to turn that around and stack wins. I don't care if you win $5. Yeah, could have been 25, but you won $5. That's $5 more than you had a minute ago. So, and you need to keep that upward momentum. And that's actually how you teach your brain, right, to learn more about it. Because if you did some TA and you're like, oh my God, I won $5, now there's incentive for you to learn more, and your brain is like a superpower tool, right? So it likes it when it gets rewarded. So you stacking some wins, even just a little, could you have done more? Yeah, but it's just a win. So you're teaching your brain to be like, yes, we need to look for wins here, and we need to optimize to gain as much wins as possible because we like this. All right, we like it. We get paid. So but then be cool about it, right? No emotions. Emotions just shows that you are in a space of lack and poverty and fear. And that will not get you anywhere. Not with anything in life, you guys. Not with anything in life, right? You cannot be sitting there going hungry because you need a job, and then you're gonna look thirsty on when you go there, instead of relaxed and in charge and capable. You're gonna look thirsty, desperate, and nervous, anxious. And people feel this. That's your frame, where you're coming from, and they feel this,
Yeah,
right?
nothing great ever
So
comes from a place of disparity.
it's a vibe.
Well, actually,
It's a
come to think of
vibe.
it though, hunger does fuel like motivation, ambition, and drive at the same time. So being hungry and being desperate, I think, are two different things. You know?
Well, being too hungry, right? Being too thirsty. Being too, come on, give me the water, right? Give me something. Give me the juice.
Yeah, you don't.
Right?
You lack
No, yeah,
leverage if
yeah.
you're in a position like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
You're
right.
compromised.
That's not a great place to come from, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's and in my practice, I used to, and then later on in the gym too, focus on your framework.
Framework, like
Because
you mean like your posture when you're like
no, not just posture. This is a
like
frame of
in
the
engaging
concept
your
of
core.
you. No, no. So
Mm.
you have, yes, you have your as above, so below. So when you are feeling thirsty, right? When you're looking thirsty, how do people look when they're looking thirsty? They sit a little bit more towards you. Their eyebrows are up because they want to convince you of the fact that you should give them something, and they're going to be a little bit more in your face. Their language is going to adjust to this as well. But this is all that meets the eye. Their inner framework is supporting this. So it starts with your inner framework, your concept of self. And this has to do with confidence. Right? And this is why some people cannot, you cannot fake this either. Because this is about you and your beliefs. If I go on stage and I need to hypnotize people, I'm convinced my frame is telling me I'm very confident that I can hypnotize any and each one of these people. I'm not going in there with maybe 50%. 'Cause that's going to leak into my frame. You can't have that, right? So your framework is very important. Reframing things is so important that it actually drips down in our information system. So catch it. I caught it in my country a couple of days ago. We all got a flyer that and they wrote it like this. So now I'm going to tell you the message first. So the message of the flyer, the purpose of the flyer was to give this message. We used to give you 24 hours when a disaster happened before help services kicked in. But now that has gone to 3 days. So you need to take care of yourself for 3 days before any rescue can happen. Boom. But here's what the flyer said. We used to be able to guarantee 24 hours. But we need to update because things have changed over the years. We have become better and our infrastructure has become more solid, but also more diverse. And because of that, we need 3 days, right? 3 days for so what this is framing. They go back to the past, then they're gonna say something positive, packages and okay, yeah, now it's completely normal. What they're actually saying is, yeah, you're on your own for 3 days. That could have been the whole flyer. Disaster strikes, you guys. Make sure you got something because you need to take care of yourself for 3 days. End of story. But no, big flyer with a story, a frame of how to frame this so that people don't fucking panic, right? And so they're going to make you feel good about it. So, yeah, 3 days is still better. Some countries have 7, but we have 3. And so make sure you just grab some extra for what do you need? Well, you need some batteries. Go get yourself a little cash money, right? They make it like that. And that's framing. The story and context of how you put things in is the frame. And the frame of self is very much a self concept, is very much an idea. And that's actually what a lot of my hypnosis focus was always on, is changing your self concept so you can execute. Also, no ever forget that when you meet people that look more powerful than you better have your frame together because these people break frames, right? Yeah. And these people are convincing, have persuasion, they have charm, they are convincing, they have confidence, right? And then it's up to, yeah, who's boss? I've been up against these people. You need to hold your ground, right? You need to be going a little bit silent. There's tricks to do that. to make sure your frame stays intact. But first, build your frame. This is when frame collapses, and I'm going to give you an example in relationship atmosphere, right? Because we see that there maybe can relate to a little bit better than in business, right? Maybe you are not a business guy or girl, or in management, because in management framework is a thing. And so in relationships you see this: the one that gets emotional about things, their frame collapses into the other. It's a power shift. See, when I tell you I love you, I actually went over it with some students not too long ago, and we had the question, give me a question. The question was, are you in my heart? And it's like, who wants to fucking know? The person that asked this is coming from a place where it is important that they hold headspace or heart space with you, right? So it's a very egotistical thing to say, actually, right? Because why do you need to know this? And it's because it's uncomfortable for them. So they're losing frame. They're collapsing their frame into you. They're giving power to you. You can be a confident guy, but the moment you tell a girl you love her and she's rejecting you, boom, gone is your frame, and she's owning it.
Mm.
so we can steal cloud and frames from each other and make others collapse. That's why I say don't act emotionally, because emotionally um, responsiveness is one big indicator that you're collapsing, and then I got you.
Well, yeah, I've made. It reminds me of something I did when I was a teenager that was like really foolish. Is that I would, oh man, I don't even want to go into it, but I would tell these girls that I love them. I was like 13 years old, and then they would confess their love to me, but I was just joking around. And that was always a weird thing that I had. I mean, I did it more than once, like 2 or 3 times. And
Yeah,
then I
but
learned, I was
yeah,
like, dude,
see
I'm
how that
like,
goes.
what's that?
Yeah, see how that then
It
works. And
wasn't,
they,
yeah,
but when they,
it was
because
kind of like
in the end they
unsettled.
conceded to you. Yeah,
But
you
they,
were like,
yeah, they
ugh.
were like, oh man, it was bizarre. I mean,
And
like
what
I
did
said,
it?
that's a
What
part of
did it
growing
became
up,
to you?
you know?
It became unattractive to you instantly.
Well, yeah, because I'm like,
Yes,
dude, we don't really
exactly,
know each
right?
other
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
exactly,
was like, I was
exactly.
saying it as a joke, like, oh, I love you, like,
Yeah, but
oh, I love
yeah,
you,
but you manipulated that.
Yeah,
This is
I realized
manipulation,
that, and it's
right?
like,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and, you,
So
and realizing that power with words, that was a part of me, like growing up, becoming like a teenager and stuff. I was like 13, going through like puberty, and that was like I was like, wow, these words carry like a lot of weight. They very
yeah.
much will, change somebody's psyche, and be very careful about how you use them. That was kind of my takeaway for myself, like. So
Yes.
I do follow what you're saying, and I do believe in the
Yeah.
power of
This is
that as well.
yeah, and this is framework. But if you had a good frame, and I don't care if somebody loves me or not. If I'm having a good time with you, I don't care. I don't care if am I in your heart or not. This is not an issue. Right?
Yeah.
And so my frame is very. It will never collapse because nobody can catch me on it. Right? And it doesn't mean that you cannot have intimacy. You just don't have to over fucking inform. And people do this all the time. If you're sub 30, possibilities of you over informing people, tons. If
Mm.
you're coming from an abusive home
Right.
or had some experience of trauma, over explaining is actually a sign of trauma, right? So you always explain yourself. You going on the
Yeah.
first date to fucking give your whole freaking a lecture about what happened in your life, then nobody needs to fucking know. This is information that people can use against
Yeah.
you. And but then there's the information that you gave verbally, but there's the emotional information as well.
Right.
Right? Don't fucking do it. The
Mm.
information, your emotions give you information, but it's information for you. It's not information for the fucking rest of the world, you guys.
Yeah.
That's why you need to control that and become emotionally a little bit detached. You got to observe them. It's not like you cannot feel it, but it's giving you information. So you observe the information, and you do not necessarily need to pass this on to other people.
I do always admire my friends that are much more like stoic, and that like, keep their emotions like,
Yes,
um
keep it in check.
yeah, yeah.
That's why the Stoic philosophy works, but there's a reason why it works, and it has to do with frameworks and why some
Is it
frames
not a
collapse and
double-edged
others.
sword though as well, where there is like a certain point where it becomes like almost like dissociated, or like disconnected, cold and callous, like like there's kind of like a Goldilocks zone with it almost.
Okay,
Like,
so a person that is very emotional reactive will call a person that's emotionally non-reactive cold.
mm,
But whose problem is that? It's not my problem.
yeah,
Well, as I
it's
start
an
to see it
inside
as
job.
cold, that's where my frame collapses into the others. This is not true, right? So for me, it's not true. I'm not cold. I'm a very warm person.
Mm-hmm.
I help people all the time for
Mm,
free. I go to penitentiaries for girls and try to make their lives better. I train people for the longest time, even sometimes for free. Try to make people better all the time, every day.
you're constantly
So
being of
don't tell me I'm
service.
fucking cold, right?
Yeah,
That's my mission in life, and
right.
that's what it is. But if you perceive me as cold, that's your perception. It's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
The information my emotions are giving me is for me. It's private. They're not supposed to be for you. They're not your emotions, are they?
Right.
I'm not going to mess with yours either. I'm not going to ask about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, because psychologists, people often
Ask
sometimes
me
they
anything.
exactly when I'm in spaces, sometimes I'm talking about this stuff. Sometimes people pull up with issues because they feel drawn to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can spot them right away. And it's always giveaways, the oversharing. If
Yeah.
somebody's oversharing, and then I get very protective of these people. I actually tell them, okay, well, maybe not for today, but hit me up in the DMs, because I don't want them to leak all over the place in a space where that's recorded on the internet forever,
Right. Yeah.
right? So I'm very
We've seen it
protective
happen
even of
a
people.
number of times. Absolutely. And
Yeah, and I always cut them off, right? I try to be
mm,
polite about it, but I also try to protect them a little bit, like, oh, don't do this. It's not the time or space to do it. I know that you're hurting, right? Yeah, and I can feel it from you. It's tangible for me, at least. Maybe not for other people, but for me it is, as a
yeah.
therapist.
One that always
So
blows my
so
mind
yeah.
too is when people will say like incriminating stuff about what they used to do in like a recorded
Yeah.
internet space, and it's like, dude, like don't be talking about like that. It's for clout and to like kind of seem like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what it is, but I've seen people do it multiple times too, and it's like, dude, don't be incriminating yourself by talking about illegal stuff you used to do. Supposedly, that's insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the oversharing and
Well,
the trauma thing
but
too.
you do that
Trauma
for a
dumping.
reason,
Well,
right? You
yeah.
do, everything has a motive, emotion, motivation, motive,
Well,
right? You're motivated to do something.
my dad would call it social vampirism. So the trauma
Yes.
dumping and all of that stuff is to suck energy out of you to, feel sorry for me and all this stuff.
Well, no, it's upright a trauma response. However, there's people being very manipulative that use the victimhood
Mm-hmm.
as the weapon, as the blade. And so they know that trauma dumping is seen as a trauma response. And so they are gonna dump, but with very different reasons, on purpose. And this is the look up the reversed triangle of power. That's the victimhood power triangle. So it's not an
I'm gonna
upward
for
triangle.
sure use this for what is
Look
it
it up. You
called?
can look it up
For
right now.
content. I love stuff like that. So
Reverse triangle of power. So
yeah.
you're gonna go back into victimhood, back to the oppressor, back
Is
into
this is from
victimhood.
jujitsu? Oh, it's
Yes,
also named for a Brazilian
it's
BJJ
also a name.
submission. I
Well,
see.
they use the same thing as the victim and the oppressor, because when you're on the floor
Uh huh.
in BJJ, you're actually more powerful on the floor.
Right.
That's when you get power back.
Wow.
See,
Interesting.
that's why
Yeah.
they call, yeah,
That's
this
why
is
they take
not
them
by
to the ground.
accident.
Yeah, or
Yeah, yeah,
sweep them
yeah.
with their leg and then take them down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Right. But then when you're on the ground, you can do damage there. So it's when you're in a victim, when you can use victim status to get other people. We know these people. They
Mm.
always have problems and are never interested in a solution. In fact, they got a
Yeah. Wait.
problem for every
That's true.
solution that you bring. And then when you
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
to the
They shoot
end,
it
they're
down.
gonna,
They don't want to
yeah, they
hear
should,
that. That part of their
no,
brain isn't even listening to the solution. They don't even hear
no,
you.
no. They
Yeah.
just want, exactly, they just want to have victim status.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're blaming everybody else except themselves. That's a telltale red flag. Also, very much a red flag when people are start to make threats about hurting themselves.
Oh wow, yeah. Jeez.
Because yeah, because a person that is actually very depressed will most likely tell nobody, and nobody, everybody will be surprised how that happened, right?
True. I've seen that
And
happen. But
yeah,
I've seen
so
both
if you,
sides of that. And the other one
yeah,
kind of is for me it kind of like makes me mad cuz like
nah,
I
yeah,
cuz my mom, she was a nurse, and so she kind of
yeah,
informed me about that whole dynamic. And so when I'd
yeah,
have people do the self-harm thing telling
yeah.
me about that, they're thinking about it and stuff, and it's like you want to help these people, but sometimes you're helping them hurt themselves, or you're like
Yeah,
helping them
but
work against themselves.
who's gonna
It's like
steal the cloud there? The help that is supposed to go to the people that are
yeah,
communicative about it, right?
yeah.
Non-verbal about it, where it happens in the where everybody in hindsight is like, I never would expect it, never saw that coming.
Those ones are already like are always
Yeah, these need the
very
help, but who's taking away the clout? The people that are just making fake threats because they need some attention, they need
right.
some victimhood to pump their status, and
Oh,
these are freaking these are psychopaths do that a lot, right? There's psychopathy going on if you do that. That's crazy, crazy time. So that's psychopathy. So that's a sign of psychopathy. So somebody said that to me once, and here's how you need to respond to that, because a lot of people are like, how do you respond to it? Somebody is threatening to kill themselves. Even I am not equipped to help somebody who's about to kill themselves. You need emergency intervention when somebody utters that immediately. You need to call 911. And so when somebody said that to me, I was like, wait a minute, look, this is beyond me. And you
mm,
need more people on this. So I'm going to call 911 for you.
yeah,
And immediately they went like, oh no, don't do this. Don't do this. And I was
right,
like, no, we need intervention. You just said something that I
right.
cannot slide, right?
Yeah. When I
I
was in
cannot,
high
yeah,
school, I was in high school. My mom actually had me do that for one of my friends because he was telling me that, and I was telling my mom, I'm like, "Yo, I'm kind of worried about him because he's like telling me this," and she's like, "No," she's like, "That's not okay. You need to call the cops." Like blah blah
yeah,
blah. And so she
yeah,
like did, and she like talked to his mom and was like,
yeah,
all this stuff, like put like it's like, okay, we're gonna solve this problem then, and not, it's
yeah,
I
yeah,
was, and and so he was
yeah,
probably mad at me for a little while because of that, but it's like no, these aren't things that we just like talk like joke about casually, or I mean he wasn't even joking, but it's like using it as a manipulative like way
yeah.
to get attention.
Leverage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, don't joke around with it. When people are saying this out loud,
Mm-hmm.
you always call emergency service. They're more equipped to deal with this than you
Mm-hmm.
are. And they have many people on hand, and that needs to be immediately exposed, whether that's fake or not. That needs some sunlight for disinfection, right? So big light on that immediately. And so if people do that repetitively without doing it right, then even more so, because they need consequences, that you cannot say these things and it not have consequences. There's going to be emergency things called for you, and if you abuse that, then you need to have that experience, or else you can just go around and freaking say that all the fucking time, and that's not okay. Because the people that actually need the help, that's where the help then needs to go, and you need to cut it out, right?
Yeah.
And so they need a lesson, so you need to expose them. Either way, you would be right by calling 911, whether that was a manipulative person or a person who really needs help. Either way, you need to call. For
Yeah.
real. Your mom was right, and she's a nurse, and people in medical field know this. You need to call. This is out of your hands.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go on a deep dive, but she worked in
Yeah.
like mental health as well, and in the psych wards. And because a part of like, becoming a nurse, you have to do whatever it's called, like it's not internship, but whatever that stuff's called, where you work in the hospitals. And so part
Yeah.
of it was in the mental hospitals. So her familiarity with like mental health and stuff, like growing up,
Yeah.
it was weird, man. She would like meet one of my friends. I remember her meeting one of my friends and telling me she only talked to him for less than 5 minutes. And then she told me privately later, she's like, he's bipolar. And I
Yes.
was like, what? How would you know? I'm like, you talked to him for like
Yeah.
1 minute. And she's like, no, he is. Trust me. And a couple months later, he went to the psychiatrist for something. His mom took him, and he was diagnosed with bipolar. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. I was like, she was
Yeah.
right. I was like, and so it's kind of like weird. I always knew like with my mom, like I couldn't lie to her, or like she could always see right through me with anything. It was,
So yeah, you
yeah.
can say these things for, but as for a diagnosis, no,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
even I can spot like a
The
psychopath or a
patterns.
narcissist like pretty early on, right? But
Yeah.
and sometimes a good psychopath can fool you around for tons. Don't get this twisted,
Yeah.
right? But to diagnose people with any disorder, always in my country, it takes more than three people. It takes one psychiatrist and
Wow.
two psychologists working together. So
Wow.
nobody
That's
has a
awesome.
bias here,
That's
right?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
there's
how it
going to
should be.
be IQ testing, there's going to be skill
It's
testing, there's
like
going to be tons. Yeah.
ZK mental health.
Yeah, also, we need to figure out if there's no physical evidence of it, right? So maybe you have something in your brain that
Yeah.
causes this. So
And
we need to
chemical
rule
imbalance.
out medical reasons, not just factual medical things, right? So we need to rule that out as well. Is this a physical thing that's causing this? It could be. So we need to rule everything out and then do IQ testing, behavior testing, and then that whole thing, even to diagnose ADD or autism here takes about a year, man, on testing. You can't just label somebody with that. See,
Wow.
that's wrong. You
Wow.
cannot just label people like that because ADD also very much looks like other things. So you're gonna have to find it out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, there's people that, and sometimes when it's not obvious, don't even start the diagnosis, right? Because if you have a light version of it, it doesn't even matter. I knew my daughter was autistic the moment she was born. Right?
Wow.
But as long as it's not a problem, who needs a diagnosis, right?
Wait,
Now later
can you
on,
tell? Like, can the average person like tell that, or does she seem like what's the word, like a normie, or
no, she had some things that she did on repeat already very early on.
like the hand flapping thing, or
No, no, no. She was twisting her hair all the time with one finger, and she did that at moments that were for me indicative that that
what?
was a
That's so
mechanism.
wild to me. I always find it so fascinating, like the little things that are the indicators. Um, I always like I want to know like what causes that. Why is it that these certain patterns are always like
Yeah.
displayed?
I
It's
mean, girls,
interesting.
it's not for girls and
Yeah,
autism. This
you're
is
saying it's
not.
not as evident.
Not as evident
Yeah.
because they mimic facial expressions. Now, my daughter, just like me, has resting bitch face pretty much from the moment she was born too. That's kind of indicative too, right? That all the time without emotion, and so she has that too. And it's not like you don't feel the emotion. It's just not the pattern recognition is not there, so it doesn't translate to facial expression. That's what happens. So it doesn't mean there's no emotion. There can be tons of emotion. You can be in the autism is like this. You can be on the inside crying and on the outside looking perfectly normal, but falling apart on the
Hmm.
inside. And nobody would ever
Poker
know.
face?
But but you also, yeah, poker face, but you also don't see it in other people. When they're crying, you'll be sitting there like, wait, what is this? Right? Yeah. So you don't, that recognition is not there. But that's very much male type of autism, right? For females, we kind of need to be social earlier on in life. We're geared to being more social, working together, right? And so you need that skill of reading other people's faces a lot more. And so girls with autism might not show up until later in life. Yeah,
Wow.
very much later. Like, yeah, well, for her it showed up much later too. Where it got issues, right? When the
And
issues are show up in school. They
so
show up in school.
in
Yeah.
school, is she like in accelerated learning though? Because usually I've
Yeah.
heard of
So
situations, yeah, where the
so
intelligence levels actually. Uh
neurodivergence
huh.
is now autism is now called neurodivergence. It's for this reason. So you have an IQ test. There are five things we test mainly in an IQ test. And so for us normal people, or for you guys, I'm off too, but for most people, you average on every one of them. Yeah, and you land in the average. That's basically where we are now. Neurodivergency is that in one, boom, highly gifted, but then in the other one, boom, below average. And so the total score will you still be in the average. That's why it's not getting detected, right? You're still average. It's just something is fucking off, and it's because there's divergency within these mechanisms. So highly gifted in 3D thinking, but then lacking pattern recognition. That could be one, right? And
Mm.
so she has an over IQ in one department, but an under on the other one. Same goes for me. And so, but you can learn how to negate this over time because your IQ is not something that just stands still either, right? So you can negate that, but in order to negate that, then you need a diagnosis, right? So you can get the right tools to like, oh, this is how this shit works for me, and then you can figure it out with some help. But if you don't have any problems, why the diagnosis, right? You're already doing very well. But it shows up in especially teenage years, because then you get to be a lot more with your peers is going to be more important than ever. And that's where these things then occur. It's behavior versus. So she can study really really well, but not when there's noise around her, when other people are just socializing around her. They can't do it.
Mm.
And she's very much, she can make paintings really really fast, but only under certain conditions, and that's her conditions in her brain. And that's different for every person with autism or neurodivergency. It shows up different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you need a good diagnosis, and that's why in the IQ it diverges. So that's why where we call it neurodivergence.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, we are still the same, right? Our IQ, we still averaging here. Some people with autism maybe a little bit above average. So the real geeks that you're seeing, they're out there scoring way high, but then on something low, but not as low to negate it. So their average will be a little bit higher. But they do have quirks. They can do the thing that they do, but only under certain conditions.
Mm. I see.
Yeah. So they need a ton of patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the pattern recognition sometimes lacking. So they need a ton of rigidity to negate this. That's why they put behavior on repeat. And that's why people who have this suffer from anxiety a lot, because anxiety happens already for them when things are not the same or as they would like to see what they need.
Right. When the normal,
Yeah, that's when
when
they
a
get anxiety
curveball's thrown their
as
way.
children already. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't deal with changes like that very good, right? Because there's no recognition. They recognize patterns, but they don't take the solution pattern. Let's say I have anxiety for elevators, tight spots, right? Now, usually when we fix the elevator, we now have a pattern to solve anxiety, whether that's being in the elevator or whether that's being in big spaces. I don't know, something, right? We have the same thing. We go do our breathing exercise. We have exposure, things we go to calm the brain, nervous system, and then we walk through that. And then when you've done that time and time again, you take that pattern solution to another problem and apply it. Okay, people with autism have a difficulty doing that. So when we treat them from one anxiety, the anxiety just pops up somewhere else, and they don't take that solution into the other situation. They don't transfer. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a solution for something, for anxiety, that you discovered while treating your anxiety for an elevator, let's say a tight space. Yeah. So you treat anxiety. So meaning that, hey, well, whenever I'm anxious, I can do this. Yeah, that's the thing that doesn't fly for people with autism.
Mm.
They need therapy to alleviate that particular type of anxiety. They cannot do the big pattern and just transfer that. Yeah.
What about like meditation?
Yeah, that's difficult for some, not for some. For some, it works. For some, absolutely not. It
Mm.
depends on where their mind goes with it. Yeah, and then there is a spectrum too. So I have a light version. She has a light version, probably because of DNA. something could be. For me, it never been as problematic. It's been helpful for me actually because it's a superpower if you know how to use it correctly. Because there's something to it. So if you are, let's say, a doctor and you're a surgeon, you need to perform open heart surgery. You need to be focused there, bring that hyper focus. You cannot bring any emotion there to the table and feel sorry for the patients. You
Mm-hmm.
actually dig it into him with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where a neurodivergent brain can do, right? Because like, yeah, let me do this.
And
And even
dissociate from
enjoy.
the, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So even with your maybe your own child, right? You could, because that pattern overlap is not there either. So when I feel sorry for something, that does not translate to other particular situations where that pops up either.
Mm.
So that could be in that case a superpower. But yeah, you guys, tons to it. Everybody is basically on a spectrum. It's when you fall off the cliff when they call it, like when it really shows up significant. That's where we can then and then. But then even in the IQ, there's still got to be behavior and previous behavior that needs to collaborate with that evidence. You cannot just diagnose people on the rando here,
Right.
especially not young people. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because there's also behavior in certain age categories that pops up that looks like that, right? Certain children in certain ages do certain stuff on repeat,
Mm.
maybe more than let's say 5 years later. So you cannot, with children, you got to be careful because their brain is not developed. And so, if it's severe, then that will be obvious. But if it's not severe and nobody has an issue, then I don't really see
I got
the
Solana in the
need
bag.
for any diagnosis. It's just going to be a backpack, right? Don't do that. Only take that on when it actually can give you some tools and help if you need it, right? Most kids do fine without, even with ADD and ADHD, you guys, that kind of stuff, right? It's all the rage to have something diagnosed, but is like, yeah, the diagnosis needs to help you, right? When you get diagnosed by a doctor, there needs to be, maybe
Yeah.
some medication that
I
we're
don't know
looking
what
into to
it's
try to fix it.
it's like so trendy, like on TikTok and stuff, people
Yeah,
claiming to be neurodivergent that I'm like,
yeah.
they don't really, I mean, I don't know,
We
but
don't
like to
really
me, they don't
understand what
seem
it
like it.
means.
They're like
Yeah.
having no problem like making like very they're just very, what is the word, expressive with their facial expressions, their eye contact, the way that they talk, the inflection in their voice, and then they're claiming to be
Yeah.
neurodivergent, and I'm like, I don't know like if this person is just doing it for the clout or what, but I was just watching a video last night, a
Well,
person on
it's the
YouTube.
same as the gluten free. I got people in the
Yeah.
gym all the time. I'm gluten intolerant.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Oh, which doctor diagnosed you?" I don't have a doctor diagnosing me. All right, then you're not gluten intolerant.
Right.
You just made that up.
Yeah. Yeah, I see I know exactly what you're talking about. I do see that
Yes.
frequently. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
And most
bizarre.
people do very well with gluten, right? There's only 1 or 2% of the whole population that deals with this issue.
Well, I love the thing that's like, what about the
Yeah.
cavemen? Like, do you think the cavemen were dealing with like, oh, I've got gluten intolerance and stuff? Like, no, they needed to eat to survive. So there wasn't this
Yeah.
like this I don't even know. It's just, yeah, it's so
Yeah, but it's
bizarre.
all under, the anti-carb. Like, for your body, it doesn't matter what carb comes in there. If it's from McDonald's or from a whole grain, Whole Foods, your body is like, that's a carb, that's energy. It's gonna be transmitted and processed in the same exact way,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just that when you eat like highly processed carbs, you eat too much of them, and they become a little bit of an issue. And it could be that if you eat tons of gluten and you already have certain other diseases, mainly with your intestines, that is going to create some issues. But are you from allergic to gluten? No, no. right? And so always need a diagnosis. But I had people, especially when I had the gym and the people come over to train, and I was like, are there any allergies or anything that we need to and they were coming that they were like gluten type stuff. What else did I hear a lot too? There was something else along with, oh yeah, um, fat from pig meat. Yeah, from pigs. Is like weird because there's absolutely nothing that is in science that actually confirms any of that, right? But it's all it's based on the vibes, it's based on the feel. And of course we must blame some other things if we were fat, right? That's you needed to put the fork down. Oh yeah. Also, I have a slow how do you say metabolism,
Mm.
or I have a how do you call it? Schildklier.
A thyroid.
Thyroid. I have thyroid.
Hypothyroidism.
Okay, who diagnosed you? No
Hmm.
one did. All right, then. You know how the unlikelihood of you having this? You need to go and get a lottery ticket, right?
Oh my
For,
goodness.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. But
But
it's
it's
just
an
yeah, I just have a
excuse.
slow thyroid. No, you
Hmm.
never put the fork down. That was the issue. You eat too much. It's just energy balance, right? You ate too
Right.
much and you did less, and so that's what made you. And you did that for years. This didn't happen
Right.
overnight.
Right.
That was
Reduce your
behavior for
caloric
years. Yeah,
intake.
exactly. So that's
And
on you.
understanding what your base metabolic rate is, how many calories you're burning. I mean, all these things can be determined by the doctor too. So if like you're having issue with weight loss, going to the
Yeah.
doctor, finding out your base, even dude, there's apps and like I think even on the Apple Watch you can
Well,
see
we
your
all know that
yeah
we need,
how many
yeah, it's
calories.
kind of like in there. But the thing is that and this is something humans do.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime we do exert energy, we exaggerate the energy put out. So half hour walk can feel like you're burning 600 calories. Actually, half hour walk maybe only burn 100, right? So
Yeah.
that's one cookie, by the way. So if you
Yeah.
eat a pack of cookies, you eat now 10 cookies, that's a 10-hour walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I
if
remember
you're not
realizing
walking or
that.
on your feet 10 hours, that's gonna add up, right?
Yeah. I used
Yeah,
to, when I was training for a marathon like years and years ago, I remember on the treadmill I would do a lot of my running to train and you
yeah,
know, in I would do like an 8 mile run and burn like 700 calories, I think it would be something like
yeah,
that. But it made me
yeah,
very conscious. I'm like, dude, that's like half of a cheeseburger. And I just ran
yeah,
like 7 miles. That was a lot of
yeah,
like effort and a lot of work, a lot of
yeah,
sweating
yeah.
for like half a cheeseburger. And it made me kind
Yeah,
of
yeah. And you
yeah.
you exaggerate your reward too. So you
Yeah.
just did that mile and now you thought like let me grab
Drink
McDonald's
a
and
1,500
their
calorie
super meal.
milkshake.
Yeah, right?
That's
Yeah.
twice as it
You
would
feel
take 14.
entitled.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the vibes, right? It's based on the feels. I feel like I did a lot and
Yeah.
so I earn a lot, right? So I can go to
But
town.
honestly, it's
And
like
yeah.
when you're doing that for a while and your body gets into that routine, the idea of drinking a milkshake or eating a cheeseburger just kind of sounds repulsive and you really crave like chicken and rice or like yogurt or like, you know, things that are going to be
Yeah.
more satiating and that's going to have a flywheel effect in pushing
Yeah.
you forward. You're going to have more energy to
And
build more
look,
muscle. Yeah.
you were not wrong with that mindset, evolutionary speaking.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You were in the right. You were in the winning team if you had a mindset that would overpay you for what you did
Right. Right. Because
because
now
there was
you need to
scarcity.
stock up for the future because who
Yeah.
knows how long it's going to be until you see another
Yeah, well,
cheeseburger.
yeah. Scarcity was
You
the
know.
name of the game here. That's
Yeah.
why we are so thirsty for things
Mhm.
because of that scarcity. Things that are scarce are immediately triggering us to be valuable to us, right?
Mhm.
Scarcity is a big driver of our primal brain here. But the thing is, in the first world countries, we don't need even grow our own food anymore. So there's no work expenditure.
Right.
It's so bad. I actually, when I changed all my lights to so all my lights here are based on my app, right? I can turn the lights on anywhere they go off and blah blah blah.
Mm.
So I don't need to go up, stand up,
Mhm.
and touch a light switch anymore. And then I measured what that would cost me, what I would save on calories, and it's 50 calories a day for me, not turning the lights on and off, just
Wow.
having an app do that. That these are all little things, that is like, yeah, it's just 50 calories. That's half a chocolate chip cookie,
Right. Yeah.
a small one. That's one bite.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, laundry machine. How about that one? So we got all these gadgets around us that's saving us energy. But on the flip side, we got tons of that food that just gives us like massive amounts of energy very cheaply, and we can get it just driving our car into a drive-in. We don't even have to walk there anymore. So here's and that's the reason why you're fat. It's just freaking thermodynamics, right? It's energy in, energy out. We cannot escape this. The good news is though, when your body's getting overloaded in calories, it first will try to expend it because we have a balance that we like to keep. It's our thermostat, right? When every time we're off balance, we're in a certain weight zone and we get above there or below there, and we're going to be triggered into correcting that. Because all the body wants is what? Homeostasis. We want to stay the same, always. And in your mindset, as above, so below. Your body is not the only one who wants this, your mind wants to be too. Right? That's why we like to do things on repeat, even if we recognize they damage us. Keep smoking, keep drinking, close your eyes, go to bed and just keep doing it. Okay. So we like to do that, not just our bodies, our brain are the same way. Because staying the same and consistent was the winning recipe in evolution. Still is. Just because we had a little bit of a heyday going on here for the last 100 years. 100 years on millions of years is nothing in evolution, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this here, what we're doing, is not going to make an impact at all. Our primal brain is still this. And we like to social engineer things all the time to go against that. The thing is that it takes hundreds of years even to move 1% in evolution with something. So here we are. We are just a part of it. We're closer to the people from 1,000 years ago than we ever realized.
You're right. Yeah.
Mindset,
Yeah.
bodies, and all. Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't really changed much
No.
physically at
But
all.
we like to think so
Right.
because we think of people in medieval times. These sorry motherfuckers. They did know nothing.
We would
Well,
not
truth is, if
last,
you
or I would
if you
not
go
last
back in time, you
in
will
medieval.
not last for but 2 days.
Yeah, I would have been smoked.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
I would be wrecked within a day.
Yeah, imagine
We
not
got that. We
showering for like weeks at a time. Well, not showering pretty much ever, but
No, people were actually kind of cleanish. It's a little bit of a lie that
oh,
they
is
never
that an
washed.
urban
But
legend? Okay.
that's a kind of an urban
I
legend right
see.
there. Yeah,
I see.
they also had other mechanisms to clean, right? So, but
Right.
water and moist was very much the enemy because of what? Well, we didn't have central heating, did we? Also, how about clothing? Yeah, you were lucky. One pair of clothing. That was expensive. You know what it takes to fucking even from cotton or something or from reed to make fabric? Jesus Christ, that takes you 2 3 months just to make a few yards.
Wow.
And then it's clothing. You have some cloth. Now you need to sew yourself. There was no shop. All right. Better freaking learn all that. So that there's even for you to wear something is tons of energy expenditure. Man, I would just sit there not knowing even what to do, be naked and afraid. For real.
Yeah.
Okay, 24 hours hypothermia sets in. Well, it's gone. And that is not even counting in all the viruses and bacteria that were around then that we don't have now. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah, God. Even up until not that long ago, I mean,
Even
we
up
were
to
at
now,
risk of, polio, for instance. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy to think about. Yeah, 100 years makes a huge difference in terms of,
Yeah. But I think polio was more our enemy than it was back then. I mean, a bacterial infection could kill you. A staph infection, there's no antibiotics, my guy. You're going.
mm-hmm.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're stepping on something sharp one day. That's it. Bye, take.
Yeah, it's sad.
Rugged.
Yeah, you get rugged. Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
Staph is something that can come up like
Mm,
I know people have
yeah,
gotten staph at the beach. Like it
I
happens.
am. Yeah, it happens. Well, and then having something like that with not the hygiene that we have right now, and then no antibiotics, nothing, no painkillers either. A headache? Yeah, go sit with that. Good luck. I would not want to go back. I like where we are, but it kind of tells you that these people are having more knowledge about things, that more in-depth knowledge about things than we have, because we can go back and not survive. So we're not we're not smarter than them by any means. We are built for our age. That's what we are. So we cannot just cast judgment on the past here either, right? Because we're not in the same
Mm.
arena here of survival anymore, right? So to each their own. I see Saul is coming up. This has been a longer space than we kind of went on a tangent right there. Saul, how you doing? ZM?
GM, I'm doing amazing today. Got the invite today from Tick. Vibing and thriving over here, trying out a little
Nice.
new Atom product here in 20 minutes
Here we
on the
go.
leaderboard. So I'm really excited, and yeah, we're leveling up every single day here.
Oh, that's
Leveling
pitching.
up 1% every day, 100 days, total difference, right? That's how it works. We're gonna have a space tomorrow with you too. I'm gonna get the link out in the morning in a more bullish time. I already got a link out in a bullish time for the vault space, and we're gonna do for you the space then tomorrow. Gonna get that link out. You guys need to turn your notice on for Sal here and for Wild right here if you have not so already.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Noties make a huge difference. And
yes.
recently I re enabled my notifications on my mobile because I had turned them off because I was always getting them.
Hmm.
But now I'm at the point where I'm just like, whatever, I'll turn them on. And it's actually very helpful for when I see Wilder's post or certain people that I have noties on. Yeah, go ahead and turn them on because it's really sick being able to see like a GM post and being like the first one to respond on it, or at least having the opportunity to, and then finding out about
Yeah,
alpha.
especially if you want to grow your account. So here's the strategy, right? Here's the alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Go hit up big accounts as soon as they get their post out. So have a noti on and do that because they get views. And these views, every reply that you do, even if it's just saying good morning, is a business card for your profile. Yeah, for your account. Yeah, so try to make it good, right? Stop being douches out there on the timeline. I see you guys, right? Don't do this. Also, don't be short about it, right? Wish somebody a happy day. And then, you don't need to do as much replies if you're just taking on that strategy a lot. So you want to go on there. Also, what you want to do is hit up, and you can do this. Don't do this with everybody, but you're allowed to on my good morning post to just good morning other people, make friends. Right? These are all people having the same interests as you are because they're following me and they're engaging with me, meaning they're your friends as well. This is your network. So this is how you just hack the system a little bit in some how do you say rapid growth, right? And so yeah, you can actually do this if you're a non-blue check account. You could do 100 like this a day. Follow first. Say hi. Follow first. 70 to 80% will follow you back. And now you just got a relationship started, right?
Yeah.
Let's get it on. Yeah. And if you have a blue check mark in your premium plus, you can do 400. If you have a badge, premium plus, and our badge like me, you can do 1,000. You can go to town. You can do too much for what you can exchange on energy a day, right? I don't even have the energy to do 1,000. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I'm
But
so
yeah, that's what else
curious
is.
about Zal, about the Wars video that's
Yeah,
posted.
let's
Sunday
go.
Sunday December
Chill it.
28th, live traded music battle. But dude, I do want to comment on the video. Did you do this video yourself, or did one of your community members? I really like it. I'm wondering.
Yeah, so Sam, Candy Toy Box, is our designer for Wave Wars. She made that video and she absolutely cooks with the content.
Nice.
When I first met her, was the first time I was able to offload and delegate some of this
Yeah.
design work
And
to Candy, and it's
right.
been amazing because we work really well together, and she just is such a great person at turning
Right.
something around really quickly and
Yeah,
just
we know
using the
her.
tools that are at play.
Wilder, we've had Candy in this space a few times as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
recognize that account. Yeah, she's an absolute beast, and I
yes.
see what she's doing, dude. She's like you said, she's constantly cooking, and I see what she's doing on the timeline, dude. And yeah, man, you are so lucky to have found somebody that you can see like eye to eye with, and that's actually shipping like this. I know that you and I keep talking about what we want to get started together and everything, but yeah, my schedule's been so busy and yours has been too. But it's really sick to see that apparently Candy's got dude, she's putting in work, man. I see her putting in hella
Yeah,
footwork.
like if there was anyone I would ever say like is my partner in anything we're doing here, it would be Candy. She's my
Nice.
number two with the Zao, everything we've been doing. She's actually the one who came up with the name for the Zao. And yeah, I would not be able to do it without her. She is a phenomenal individual, and like you said, seeing eye to eye makes a big difference. And
Mm-hmm.
then so me, Candy, and Hurricane
Yeah,
are the
Hurricane
team
too.
behind Wave Wars, and we've worked together on a project as well before as we were kind of getting ready for Wave Wars to come out. And it really does make such a difference having a team that you can communicate well with and do good work with.
Can
So those two make it really easy.
I want to
It's
know?
all about the vibes.
Can you tell me about the IRL or boots on the ground and like real life events? Have you guys been orchestrating some of those as well? Because it looks like this is you got some real world stuff going on as well, correct?
Yeah, for sure. So if anyone goes to the Zao Festivals account, we had two events last year in 2024 that we used to push out our brand identity out there. So we did an IRL event around NFT NYC in April of 24, and then we spent 6 months planning out a Miami Art Basel activation as well, and hosted a bunch of people in Miami in 2024 as well. We did two music events, two music concerts to really A, get our musicians able to perform, but then
Wow.
B, to be able to come to some of these crypto
Mm-hmm.
conferences and leverage the fact that people are coming from all over the world anyways, and to be able to rock out with them. So we did two events last year. This year we stepped back from the events and we went really hard on Wave Wars on the on-chain side. And I think here in 2026, I'm going to be trying to get back into the not only crypto events but also music festivals and conferences
Yeah.
and really doing the conference circuit again.
What about NFT energy drinks? That's not aligned with you guys as well, is it? I saw Zalfest is not
Yeah, so
this.
they were a collaborator
Okay.
for Zouchella for our Miami event. So we've worked with them. I
And
know the three founders over
and so
there,
Quakey then as
but we're
well?
not like, what's up?
Quakey as well then?
Yeah, Quakey is 100%. That's more associated with the Wave Wars brand.
Yeah.
But we've had a couple specific Quakey collabs with the Wave Wars
Nice.
brand getting involved over there. We definitely want
Right,
to do
that's
an
right.
IRL
They're
Quakey X Wave Wars.
right.
It's just like right now is that period of time I think where anything that just isn't zero cost doesn't make sense. But I 1000% think as we kind of evolve in 2026, we'll be able to spend the capital to make those IRL events happen for Wave Wars because I think there's so much potential there.
Damn. Yeah, that is awesome. Very cool.
26 is going to look pretty sweet to you guys. Are you ready for 26? I'm ready for 26. I'm rebranding the Wild account. We're going to revamp the What's the Ticker space as well. Take it ready for that. We need to cook some thoughts around there, so get cooking on that, right? Wave Wars. There's going to be, look, I'm not going to lie. We are in a bear market with Bitcoin, right? But who really cares? Because potential here is all around you all the time in this Web3 space, right? So even when people stop caring about Bitcoin and the chart because we accept that we're going bear, that's where opportunities are actually increasing because everybody's like, ah, fuck Bitcoin, I'm going to do it anyway, right? We're not waiting for Bitcoin anymore here. We're just going. And so that's where you see tons of potential for us here in this space and aligned with crypto this way. you're going to spot opportunity everywhere at some point, right? We It's not for nothing that we saw the best meme seasons that we had were actually in the bear market, right? Pepe was in the bear market launched, right? These things happen there too, and it's explosive, and that's a big one. But there's tons of opportunity all around us, and you need to get with it. Right. If there's some talent that you have in real life, align it, please. Right. This is your ticket to freedom and self custody, self monetization, and expressing the things that you love, actually enjoy in life, right? So you have opportunity here. So don't think that just the market at large is a part of that, of the sentiment. But you should get joy out of the sentiment. The bullishness should come from yourself, right? Not from what Bitcoin is doing. And so, but yeah, that's a thing. It's a thing. I'm gonna have a link out tomorrow morning. Then notice
We
on
ain't joking,
for
ain't no
that, you
bitch, you
guys,
rolling up
because we're gonna
100% drop.
I'm gonna do a space with Saul right here, and I'll be hosting it for him, and we're gonna have some fun. I hope everybody is pulling up for that one. We got tons of nice. I've got tons of spaces this week, and I'm excited. And I need to get working on my timeline. So I guess I see you guys on the timeline. Well, let's just oh my God, it's so late already too. Well, I also need sleep. Yeah, let's get that in there. Let's do the outro then. Here we go. What's the ticker?
What's the ticker? Yeah.
Where's it at?
What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag. Send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fat. Got a runner on the map. Solana sniping like a gat. And the Zoe is moving quickly. I'ma squeeze them where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1,000X is gonna land. I got it chilling in the back. And the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at?
Yes, where's the ticker? Back again tomorrow. Revamping the space. Maybe we should do a karaoke space once a week. I don't know. I'm just tossing some ideas out there. Close it off, Tick.
Hey, let's get it, fam. Thank you for pulling up today. You guys stay bullish, my friends. We will see you tomorrow. Let's go.
Let's go. Adam, are we alive? I'm going to do Adam. What a time to be alive.